Laura, will you check the feed?
Well,
I don't usually do that, but I wanted to be done before I was on here.
okay.
No, I'm getting up because I'm gonna get a drink. Because holy shit, that was a lot.
What did you drink?
A
You want a
Gibson.
martini? Oh, well, yeah. I'm out of olives, so I have pickled onions. So it's a Gibson, not a martini.
So is a Gibson and martini exactly the same, just besides what's in the glass?
Besides the garnish, yes.
Yeah.
Besides the garnish?
Yes.
Same alcohol,
It's-
same ratio.
Well, we're getting loose and fast with the word martini using vodka. James Bond fucked all that up. Because it's actually supposed to be made with gin.
It is, but I don't like
That's
gin.
what we were talking about.
Yes.
My buddy Dave. Right?
Yeah.
Well, my buddy Dave's a huge gin head. So I
Did you do that, boss baby?
I gotta figure this gin thing out. I'm drinking, you're driving, let's go.
Yeah.
And we wandered all the time
Okay,
to
now I'm
stores
being
between
suspicious.
Portland and Seattle.
Okay.
Now I'm
Exploring
getting
different gins.
notifications.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of what?
So it turns out there was one little corner of gindom that people who like whiskey and rum can appreciate.
Huh?
So I will
Oh, yeah, I have. So that was
It
my
doesn't
fault.
taste like a pine, like pencil smells. That's,
Sounds better than blaming it on
that's what you
myself.
wanna try.
That's what I want to try.
That's what you
But
want to
still.
try.
I'm just saying.
Hey kid, do you want a splash of bourbon for the show?
Sure.
Smithereens.
How is there a
I
microphone?
actually put on weight because I upped my protein.
Okay.
So, because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to stop. My legs are not
Yeah, I know.
thin, trust me.
That's why I told Kevin.
No,
Yeah,
but your proportions.
he's really saying, yeah, he's trying to fix it right now.
The thorns in the nest, I don't look for the light, I just sharpen the night, a sovereign of the rod, a master of the blade. The keys are in my hand, but the doors are all bone. I am the altar and the knife and the moss covered stone. Every inch is an idol, every want is a god. I am the lightning buried deep inside the fog. Can you hear the sap rising? Can you feel the gods coming? I just watch the heavens die. Battle, blood, crown, a card from the dark. The forest is the furnace, and my heartbeat is the spark. I didn't choose the woods. The woods chose the womb. I am the blossom on the grave, and the ivy on the tomb. Natural born. Natural
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our best.
Republic. I like the sound of it. It means people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, however they choose.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood. Matty, now at your expense.
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over.
You were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're gonna have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I declare to be an outlaw.
All right, everybody, it is the Outlaw Radio Network for the 23rd of August, 2026. Thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate you. Hail, hail, the gang's all here.
Man, this year's going fast.
No, hold on, our camera froze. What's
Is it
up with
just
that?
me? Like the older we get, the faster time moves?
I don't know.
Maybe because we're counting down the clock backwards.
Your guys' camera froze. You guys talk for a sec. Let me see what I can figure out. Hold on.
I was kind of thinking that same thing though, Paul.
I don't know why, man. When I was a kid and you'd be a Saturday afternoon, you go out and play with the other kids, whatever you're playing, football in the street or whatever,
Those days lasted forever.
They lasted forever.
All day long. It was awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That whole come in when the lights go on
Right.
kind of thing. Now I appreciate that. My kids don't ever can stay out late though. Nope. Nope. It's text me wherever you go. Text me when you get there. Text me who's there with you.
Because there's shitty people in this world.
Well, there were shitty people then too.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of shitty people, hi, Tara Simmons. We know you're listening tonight. Good to see you.
It's just communication has changed. That's all. So I mean,
I think that's part of it. But I think at least for me, it's like in the last 20 years since we've had more instant communication capabilities.
Yeah,
it's like the expectations of a parent's. Like I think now the wrong neighbor would call CPS on you. What do you mean you let your kid to come in when the lights come on?
No, the way we grew up, the way we grew up would not make it through the court of law today.
Right?
Really wouldn't.
But
that's okay. Did you get your camera fixed, Kevin?
All fixed. You guys. It was my camera was fine. It was your guys' camera that was froze.
Oh well, that's good. I'm glad
but you're fixing it. You fixed. Hey, by the way, I do want to remind you guys of our big sponsor here at Outlaw Radio Network, Destination Highway 420. If you're looking for quality cannabis products in Bremerton, stop by Destination Highway 420, conveniently located in the on Hollis Street. The
Very
Destination Highway 420 offers a wide selection. Tom, help me if I miss anything.
Okay, go.
Premium flower.
Yes.
Edibles. Concentrate.
Yep.
Pre-rolls.
Yes.
Vapes.
Yep.
And then it says and more. Whether you're a seasoned consumer or new to cannabis, let Destination Highway 420's knowledgeable team help you find the products that fit your needs and your budget. Great selection, competitive prices, friendly service, every visit, every time. Stop by today and see why so many customers are choosing Destination Highway 420. Reminder, you must be 21 years or older. Please consume responsibly. Destination Highway 420, your destination for quality cannabis in Bremerton.
Okay, so question for you, because I got to go there this week. And I have found a product that works great for me to help me sleep, especially with restless leg and stuff.
Chloroform?
And it's just a little dropper bottle.
Okay.
What's that? And so I just take like one dropper full and put in my water, man. And that stuff hits so
Like
fast.
a tincture?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you. What's it called? Is that a tincture?
It sounds like a tincture.
It's a tincture.
Because it just works great. I can put a couple drops in just a shot of water.
Nice.
And
Paul,
it's
you should
great.
give some RSO a try.
Yeah.
I've used RSO over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
What is
RSO.
RSO?
Rick Simpson oil.
It's just
it's just
an edible type thing, and they just extract the oil.
okay.
Yeah, as
It's
I
really nasty.
Yeah, it tastes it tastes like lawnmower clippings, but it's
and that's being polite.
Yeah, it works well.
Yeah.
As I understand it, the guy it's named for developed it for
curing cancer.
For
is what I
dealing
had heard.
with like chemotherapy symptoms and stuff. So
it was like the purest form, and it's like a semi-solid, and you just kind of squeeze out a piece the size of a grain of rice.
Yeah, don't go bigger than a grain of rice.
Nope.
It works well.
Yeah, but it's super concentrate. Yeah. But that always took longer. This tincture is like within 15 to 20 minutes, I'm feeling it, and I'm able to just fade right to sleep, man.
Yep. Try some of the.
I don't know why you don't just smoke it. That's instantaneous.
Smoking's bad for you.
Try some of the infused drinks. Those hit pretty quick too. And they taste good.
Yeah, they do taste good.
Yeah, they're flavorful.
They have orange cream and root beer, so you can make like a float with them.
She's getting a smile like, I need to go get a float. I you know what?
That's how the guy always tries to sell me on it, and I'm like, dude, like I'm not really gonna put it over ice cream because I haven't had ice cream in a while. Like I'll just.
And have you seen the new A&W root beer?
I have
it's
not.
vanilla float. It's root beer float.
Yeah, it's good
A&W root beer.
It's good stuff.
Should be freaking illegal. Stuff is so good.
They make it sugar free too, so I get to drink it.
Have you tried a shot of bourbon in your root beer?
Now he's like, I want a root beer.
No,
it's really good.
Is it? I believe you.
No, this edition
really
of
good.
How Alcoholics Enjoy Their Soda brought to you by Black Ring Spirits in the Town Square Shopping Center.
Listen, Kevin, we all love you and appreciate you, but the fact that you're an absolute wuss when it comes to getting out there and doing things and having fun and cutting loose.
What?
You're a total lightweight, dude. You're like, I don't ever touch that stuff. I don't ever touch that stuff.
Well,
and it's okay. We appreciate that in
the
you.
only stuff I don't touch is weed, but I drink alcohol just fine.
Well, very, very little.
Yeah, when
Which
I
is
drink,
fine.
though,
That's your own personal choice.
I've drank tequila with him before. I mean, he did.
I can put some down.
I'm just saying.
Some tequila.
I'm just saying that we're proud of you for your meekness. It's fine. We love you and appreciate you for it.
And I hope you die in a fire. I did find my favorite shot, by the way. It's called a Scooby Snack.
Scooby Snack?
Scooby Snack shots are the best shots ever.
Okay, do you know what a Scooby Snack is in the weed world?
Oh, I know it's weed, but I don't know what it is. But it's
so
weed.
when you're taking a hit off your pipe and you're at the end of your bowl and you suck up a piece of ash or something, that's a Scooby Snack.
Oh, okay.
They're not good.
Well, there's a shot called a Scooby Snack, which is amazing and deadly. And I had a whole bunch of them on the cruise when I did the cruise a couple years ago, and yeah, they're good.
Is that when you were calling us from the cruise drunk as a skunk?
No, I never called you from the cruise.
Or you were messaging or something because you were sending out some weird ass messages
I
that
don't
night.
even know what you're talking about. You're making things up now.
You were drunk texting ex-girlfriends.
No, that must have been
You
Vegas.
were leaving drunk voicemails for ex-boyfriends.
That must have been Vegas. Speaking of voicemails, we do have more voicemails to play later. I have not listened to any of them. I don't know if Tara Simmons might have left one of them for us, but we're hoping.
I can't wait for this. Are we doing that tonight?
We do voicemails every night.
Yeah, we didn't. No, we don't do them every night. We're
going to do them every night.
When we get them.
Okay.
We had them last week, and one of them was pretty funny. It was
the
Shaggy.
first one. Yeah, the first.
Shaggy, yeah.
That was our first official voicemail, and I'm so happy that was the first one. That was awesome.
That was pretty good. So
Tom was beaming like a little kid at Christmas.
We'll get to those later.
Awesome. Like,
Yeah,
I
we'll get to
love
those later.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it from?
We don't know.
The dude sounded like Shaggy, but
Okay.
yeah.
Talking to Scooby the whole time.
Yeah, and you're wondering about pickles, and I mean, it was funny.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Hey, coming up at 7:30, Rick Kuss, candidate for Kitsap County Sheriff, is going to join us. He's also going to have with him
his nominee for for under sheriff.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Do you remember his name? Andrew Conway.
Andrew Conway.
Andrew Conway. Thank you, Lori. Andrew Conway is going to join us as well. So it'll be nice to talk to Rick now that we've gotten past the primaries, kind of figure out how he's feeling about things since the numbers came out. In full disclosure, we are reaching out to everybody again. So his opponent, Brandon Edwards?
Myers.
Thank you. Brandon Myers will be reached out to see if he wants to come on again, because we do want to be fair and balanced.
Well, and he's been on once, but it's to reiterate to people, it's election season. It's, or should I say, vote harvesting season. And
don't encourage that.
Well, that's what I didn't make that up. You know who I first heard say that? It was Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Oh,
Every
really?
time he calls election season, he calls vote harvesting season.
Oh, okay.
And,
Are you a Reagan Republican? Do you think? Like, would you fit into that description of a Reagan Republican?
I would have to like seriously,
like, I'm a Reagan Democrat.
Look that up because there were some things Reagan did that now that I'm older, I saw them and don't appreciate them all that much. But I would say probably that's closer to just about anything else that I have found, if that makes sense.
Kevin Nelson wants to know if it'd be funny if Ace Haynes left us a voicemail. I don't think you can leave voicemails through
From
collect
jail?
calls from prison. So,
And I don't know that we'd even
in prison.
I have no idea.
we don't know his voice really. None of us talked to him live, did we?
No, I've met him before.
Oh, you met him?
I've met him before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard him come unhinged on video.
I mean, whatever he released on, YouPorn is up to him, dude. I don't need to.
Nancy said, "Hello,
Tom
outlaws."
going on
What's
a
that?
porn site?
What?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Talk right in your microphone, Beeler.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It's a very awkward setup tonight. I don't like it.
I didn't set it up.
I don't know what's
Not
awkward
you.
about it.
Yeah.
What did I do?
It's
She's
how
a
I
woman.
set up
She-
my microphone.
she
It has
changes her
nothing to
mind
do with
all the
you.
time.
Oh, I got you. You always use that mic.
I know. No.
Well, we got some good things to discuss tonight. I know that we got a lot on the table. We're even going to talk about the governor and potential pardons. That's definitely on the docket for tonight.
Mike wants us to get David Olson.
That would have been
for
awesome
state
to
rep
know.
on.
Mhm.
We've had David Olson on before, right? We talked to him once. didn't we?
Once.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll reach out to him again, see if we can get it back on. Good idea, Mike. Nancy Saunier. I'm going to pronounce it Saunier because that sounds really cool in French. She said, "Hello, outlaws. Hope you're having a great day." We are. It's a wonderful day in the house.
It is.
It's a beautiful day to be K-Dog.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm.
I
He's
don't.
K-Dog. I'm Calfzilla.
You're not Calfzilla. Stop trying to steal my nicknames.
Your nickname's Calfzilla now?
Yeah, I've been called Calfzilla for years. I have a
Oh
T-shirt
my
that says
God.
Calfzilla.
Here
Who
we
besides
go.
you called
Whose
you
head is
Calfzilla?
bigger?
I have T-shirts. It's the people made for me that say Calfzilla.
Okay, that's it. Just go piss in a pool.
I know. Seriously,
See,
can you
you
guys
can
just go
get the
measure them
longest
and
stream. Yeah.
get it over with?
We're going to get it over
No,
with
we
on
need Kevin in a
September
good
12th.
mood for the show.
We're going to get it over with on September 12th when we have our annual day at the Derby for the Outlaw Invitational, where K-Dog will continue to be the reigning and defending champion, and I'll be able to tell the entire world how glorious I am. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Next.
All right.
Laura, you look like you were going to say something.
I just had one thing to say about Reagan.
Yes.
There's a new movie coming out.
Yes.
The Brink of War.
The one isn't that the
about
one?
Reagan and
Was
Gorbachev.
it that played
In
by Randy or,
Iceland?
or
Mhm.
Dennis Quaid? Or
I
Randy?
didn't catch who it was.
I think
Yeah.
I think so. I
The
might be
makeup
wrong.
was heavy. I'll just put that.
Yeah.
There.
That looked
Makeup
like
was
a really
heavy?
good one.
Makeup was heavy.
Because I was looking, I'm going, who is that? Who's playing Gorbachev?
Yeah,
So,
it's-
yeah.
It centers a lot around the
He was pretty freaking ugly, so I'm just saying.
Who was?
What was that?
it's a wine stain.
It was a
No,
map.
that was bird poop. Okay.
It was a map of the Philippines.
There's a map of something. Anyways.
It really did look a little bit like the Philippine Islands. If you,
Hey, since we've only got a few minutes, can we? Should we talk local stuff or should we talk national?
Yeah,
stuff? What do
no,
you guys
I think well, we've got our local guests coming on. I think we should stay local
Okay.
Yeah.
for the time being.
Okay.
Oh, we have guests or we have commenters telling us to focus.
Oh God.
Oh, Mike.
All right, Mike. Heather wants to know if Tom found his headphones. No, he did not. And there is there's a reward being offered if you
For the
can find-
return of Tom's headphones.
If you can bring
You
Tom's
walked off with
headphones
them, bring them back.
and the nuts of the person who stole them, I'll personally give you $100. But you
Yeah.
have to have the nuts and the headphones.
and if you were the person who stole them, don't tell me you were the person that stole.
And shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
Shame on you.
Margie says, if you were all 80 years plus old, 80 plus years old, what would your day be like?
I wouldn't probably get out of bed.
I definitely would be on a beach somewhere, soaking up the salty water with the sun beating down on me, probably with really brown, wrinkly skin, and just be in absolute heaven.
Boobs down to your knees. Meow.
You know what?
With the way
Gravity.
I'm all beat up, I'm sure I'll be in a wheelchair. So I will be instigating the wheelchair races around,
There you go.
wherever I'm living.
I don't know what I'd be doing, but I believe that all the women in the nursing home will be walking funny. So.
Oh my gosh. Kevin.
Oh my god.
I don't think there's any illusions. We've all heard the stories coming out of nursing homes and about how they're just sex play gardens.
They are. They are. Go read the data on them. Gonorrhea is mad
I was
crazy
gonna
in
say
nursing homes.
there are some STD issues. I mean,
when you're 90 and you're walking into a room, lady's got a Miss Gangbang 1912 trophy on a wall. You should probably
What is
be like,
happening tonight?
Speaking of that, hello, Tara. I just wanted to say good morning to you. I just hope you're doing well. By the way, the views expressed by me are just mine.
Yes.
They're just an opinion. I don't pretend that I have any
100%.
facts to back them up. These are just my opinions. Tara.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, my opinion.
There you go. There you go. If we're going to talk a little bit of local stuff.
Yeah, let's talk some local.
I
spit it out.
Well, I'm blown away by this to us of about I think it was the result of not a FOIA request. It may have been a FOIA request. It was either a FOIA or a records request. Maybe they're the same thing.
They're not the same thing. We've been over this so many times.
Okay. Thanks, wife. You know what it is? We've been over it 142,612 times. Don't ever ask again. Okay.
Well, it's true. Can you just listen the
write
first
it
time?
down.
Do you
Write it
hear
down.
the words coming out of my mouth?
You think this many marriages in, Paul would know how to talk to a woman?
Listen. When the professor says, "Can you understand the words coming out of my mouth?" all that comes up is "see you next Tuesday." That is it. Nothing gets past that. It's
Fair.
like we're stuck on that. But anyway,
yeah.
So for those that don't know, there was a what was it? Was a Freedom of Records? It was a FOIA request, or
I'm pretty sure it was a public records request.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the request was looking for Tara Simmons and did she ever apply for and or receive consideration of a pardon from the governor of the state of Washington?
Pardon from the governor.
From a governor.
Yeah,
Let's be really, really clear on that.
Gregoire.
Well, it
to be
wouldn't
exact.
have been multiple governors, right?
Well, she could have asked multiple.
Well,
there's Gregoire, there's Locke, there's Inslee.
Right.
Ferguson.
Well, Inslee would have needed somebody to tell him where to sign, but Gregoire, I always felt was, even though I disagreed with her politically, was very intelligent. I thought she had a good grasp on things. We didn't have issues like a governor telling people that they can't come to the Olympian report on stuff.
You're right. She had some redeeming qualities up until the end.
Yeah. Well,
I never liked her ever.
Yeah. I wasn't a fucking fan. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I called her mine governor.
No, I like that you did that. That's good because we should be highlighting the good that people do as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Tara Simmons went to the governor, Christine Gregoire.
We're not talking about her.
And asked for a pardon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I find this interesting, right? Because you're talking about an individual who got herself into heap loads of trouble. And we're talking about after she was 30. It's not like she could say I was a teenager or, she was over 24. So her frontal cortex was completely developed, right? You just went, like, you don't know if she was or not?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. And gets herself into trouble. And what redeeming quality would have been sitting there for her to tell the governor, I'm a nice girl. Please give me a pardon. Like, it's one of the most disingenuous things I've heard in a long time, Like, you just got into all this trouble. You're up shit creek without a paddle. So I'm going to reach out and ask the governor for a pardon. I think it speaks to character. I really feel that. Like I may have gotten in trouble, but I'm not really responsible for it, or like it's not really my fault. It was the fault of the system, or the fault of the people that I was around, or the fact that I grew up poor, or whatever. And I
grew up poor too. I didn't fucking turn out that way.
Exactly.
Shit, I'm
correct.
Poor right now.
Me
Thank
too.
you, Washington State.
It's not hard when you have a logical mind where you can rationalize things out. Let me see, get a job or rob somebody. I mean, I can see where it may be a difficult decision for some people to make. I didn't say 6, 7 either. So you guys are welcome. But then, and there are lots of things, as we've been learning, stuff that hasn't been released publicly yet.
Yeah.
But records that have been requested and gathered and are being put together. And
pause that for 2 seconds. I'm removing you. Try to fix an issue we're having. Okay, you're all good.
Okay. So basically her police records, right, are being gathered.
Yeah.
And the amount of information that's in there versus what she publicly put out, right? I did this, I did that. I'm really sorry. I'm fixed. I've moved on from those things. Yeah. Stabbing your husband isn't really something that, like, it really speaks to what is in your mind, you know? And that's one of the things that are in the police reports. Like, this isn't nothing that I'm saying is hearsay or anything else. This is direct information gathered by law enforcement in the course of their investigations. Are you okay?
No, it's really hot in here tonight.
Okay, well, I have that effect on people at times, but I didn't
I'm sorry.
really think that I was having that effect this evening.
Can I push back just a little bit, Paul?
Of course.
Okay. Let me explain the whole litany here, right? I think in the beginning, Tara's story was intriguing. Right? We're not doing real men of genius right now. But I thought her story was intriguing, right? So and this would lend to it, right? Hey, I believe I'm a changed person. I'm going to ask for a pardon. Okay, they didn't give me a pardon. I'm going to go back to law school myself. I'm going to work my way through law school, even though there's a really good chance that they won't allow me to even take the bar because I'm a convicted felon. So she does law school, then she takes the bar, then she passes, and she runs for office, and she gets elected. This whole thing should be a story of a woman who rises up from her past, who overcomes the mounds of horse crap she set before herself.
Yeah, it's an amazing redemption story.
It should be,
if that was the last chapter.
That's exactly it. Like, if she had, and I'm not supporting violence for her. Don't take this wrong, but if she got elected to the legislature and the next day was killed in a tragic car accident, listen. I'm putting this.
They're going to twist that somehow because that's what they do.
Well, I'm not gonna alter who I am because of Paul's Bowl for All, proud sponsors of this show. But what I'm saying is, if she got
it would be a Hallmark Channel.
It would be a Hallmark Channel movie. They would make a great happy ending out of it. Look how she redeemed itself in the tragedy that happened. What else could she have done? Right? There would have been all this great overhead story.
We have that answer
all
now,
the
by the way.
great things that Tara could have done had she not. Blah, 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 blah. Well, now, as you said, Paul, we know what Tara would have done.
The rest of the story.
Paul Harvey is rolling over in his grave.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Paul Harvey is, like,
look him up.
Seriously,
but
you're 9.
We're not putting out, the people that are working on compiling all this information have not given us permission, and I haven't seen the documents myself. Only been told about the information that's in them, so I don't want to give out misinformation, and that's why we're not going into depth on these documents, right? Because they haven't been put in our hands yet. We haven't had a chance to vet the information, but the stuff that is in there, I think, in a lot of ways, will be not at all surprising to half the voters in Kitsap County, and the other half will almost deny its existence.
They will. Do you see how they do that?
Yes, it's to me, it's pure insanity.
It is literally the definition of insanity. How do you not understand it? Not you. I'm talking to them.
No,
they're out in.
No, look,
Video land.
It is. This is the Kurt Cobain theory to me, right? Like, what else could
Her wife killed her?
No. What else could Kurt Cobain have accomplished? What would have happened if he not died in the greenhouse? What would the long story have been? I've always argued that he would have gone the way of Eddie Vedder. He would have been popular, but he wouldn't have been the massive icon that he is because you're just not. There's a martyrdom complex, right? Well, now we
still
know,
see people walking around wearing Viva la Che Guevara shirts. So.
But now we know what happens when the fairy tale comes to a crashing halt.
Yeah.
And that fairy tale is, okay, my redemption story is complete. I have been redeemed, and now I'm going to revert back to the exact same behavior, the exact same qualities, the exact same personality, the exact same manipulative, lying, deceitful, conniving, unethical behavior that landed my ass in prison in the first place.
Cunty behavior.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I'm trying not to use that word. You use that word, and I use the phrase "have the day you deserve."
I love it. So they've been sending me cunt things.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I have that on a mug. Yeah, I have that on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I have that on something hanging on my wall.
Even my significant other is now coming across things that have that word in it that she sends to you to be like,
I know.
Look what I found, Baylor.
I sent her a friend request because I'm like, why is she friends with everybody but me? That's so rude.
Yeah.
Come on, Lori. Oh yeah, no, it was just you two, I think.
See, I don't believe I'm.
I wasn't blaming her. I was
No, I
just
know.
like, why did she just now pop up in my suggested friends?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen,
that usually means somebody's stalking your page.
But listen, the issue is
Is that what that means?
no, that's not true. That's a wives' tale.
I'm telling
That's
you,
not
that's why somebody
true.
pops up in your recommended
No.
suggestions. It means they're stalking your page.
That is so not
You
true.
have a
Paul's such a
stalker.
liar.
Paul, how many
Yeah.
people do you know that work at Facebook? And by people that you know, you have
Yeah.
conversations with them.
Yeah, 6. What?
He just made that number up out of his head.
He
That's fast.
totally
I
did. He
can't do
pulled
that.
it right out of his ass.
You guys,
right out of his
you
ass.
guys
Right out
are
of
just, you guys are talking smack. We're all
I have
good.
family
Nobody's
that
talking
works at
smack at
Facebook. I
all
know how their
whatsoever.
algorithm works.
And I had a relative in World War II. He didn't drop the bomb. I'm just
Do you know how Paul told me?
Fuck, Paul.
Do you know how Paul told me about his uncle in World War II? Did you ever hear about this story about
No.
Paul's uncle in World War II?
No.
Paul came into the show one night. We're sitting here, and Paul has this story, and he says, "My uncle died in a concentration camp," and he had this big long story behind. I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, the dumbass fell out of the guard tower," and I'm like, "Paul,
You
come
can't
on.
even tell the joke
Come
right,
on,
dude.
Paul. Come on. You tell the joke. dude. Go ahead.
No.
Seriously, what is wrong with you?
That's Paul. Paul
we're
said that,
staying
not
on
me.
that.
I was
Paul said
looking
that,
at
me.
Paul,
I
not
didn't
you,
make it up.
Kevin.
Yeah, the joke was I had 2 Polish relatives that died in a concentration camp during World War II. One fell out of a machine gun nest, the other one died in the oven. So, but again, if you're
That's
not
not- that
Polish,
wasn't
it's
what you-
hard to appreciate the joke.
Oh my
You know,
God.
my great uncle actually charged Nazi tanks on horseback, and there's one picture of his unit riding off to glory and shrapnel. Yeah, it wasn't a
Wow.
good scene, but
This
it's a
is Paul-
historic photograph.
This is Paul mansplaining his Polish joke.
He
That's what
totally
this
is.
Well, and
That's
if I-
exactly
and if
what
I
that
have
was.
to, Alicia,
Literally.
it means it's ruined. You ruined it.
I didn't ruin anything. Kevin ruined it by not telling it right.
You're right. It's Kevin.
That was not the way he told
Kevin
the joke,
ruins
Taylor,
everything.
just so you know. Okay, coming up in a couple of moments, Rick Kuss, candidate for Kitsap County Sheriff, is going to join us. God bless it, I keep forgetting your name. I'm horrible. And
Seriously,
Kevin is right there.
Kevin.
I don't have that
Andrew
screen up.
Conway.
Andrew Conway. Thank you, Andrew. I'm sorry, but you are wearing Husky, so the Husky shirt is what distracted me.
Cougs.
Yeah, go Cougs. Yeah, hopefully you go to the Aurelia Bowl or whatever, the toilet bowl or whatever random football bowl they might be eligible to go to because they suck.
Well, listen,
Whatever.
the
Cougs.
Pac-10 is coming back this year.
Yeah.
And, you know,
It's
I
going to be
mean,
more than 2 teams. Woohoo!
no, they got like Idaho State and Utah State is back. And I think San Jose State.
Did
and a few others.
Gonzaga join them? I think Boise State joined them.
Boise
Yeah.
State did.
Yeah. The Pac-10 is back, just like syphilis
Cool,
is back in
cool.
the nursing homes. All right, great. We'll celebrate that.
It's like a full circle. Here we
Cougs?
go.
Syphilis. Cougs? Syphilis. Anyway, there will never be a day I root for the Cougs. And I don't care if you or Tom like them. It's just not going to happen.
That is my alma mater. Why would I not say go Cougs?
Well,
Don't be a douche.
There's no words
You
that I
don't,
can
you
use.
don't get to be called a cunt anymore because that's a whole new level. You are now douche.
I haven't earned the see you next Tuesday. Though.
No, it has a
I
new
haven't
champion now.
elevated myself to that level yet. By the way, Tara, just saying hi to you. How you doing, Tara? How you doing, Tara? Tara's mad at us, and
Tara lied about us. So
somebody-
fuck you, Tara.
I'm trying to put a buffer in here between this conversation and our guests.
I know.
I'm trying to dig a
I don't know when to
trench.
stop. Okay.
A deniability
I'm done.
trench.
I'm done.
Okay, we're building a deniability trench.
Okay, the
between
trench
that
is
side of the
built
conversation and our guests, so they
right
don't
now.
have to comment.
From this second forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we talk about
New
something?
segment.
Can we talk about something non offensive?
Yes.
September 12th.
Yes.
KDDA Outlaw Radio Network Invitational. There's nothing outrageous about this.
This is going to be amazing.
I will tell you who's going to be in it. So it'll be the 4 of us. The 4 of us will be in it.
Yes.
Doc Blackwell,
Yes.
who was with us last year.
Yep.
Daria Ilgen is going to be in it with us.
Yeah.
Dave McMullen is going to be in it with
Okay.
us. And who am I forgetting?
It's going to be one of the people from DH420.
Yeah, Destination
Oh, yeah.
420.
Somebody from Destination Highway 420. That's
I
right.
still haven't heard who's coming yet, so
or,
as soon as I know.
It's okay. We have backups if he doesn't, so it'll be okay.
Oh no! They just are deciding
Who
who's
is?
going to be
Who gets the-
driving
who gets
because
the-
that's how
Good.
awesome they are.
You're not planning a plant, Paul.
No.
You'd be like, I'm going to
Wouldn't
get
do
my
that.
brother.
I
again,
know
so-
he's
I would
really
never do that.
trying. He's like, I got to get my brother back in there to take
Nice.
Kevin out.
Is this a good enough deniability trench? Do we?
I think so.
bridge
Let's move
deniability?
on.
Do you guys feel comfortable in the
You good
deniability
with
trench I
that?
built? Is that
We're past that.
all right?
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
is that all
been
right?
working on my pit maneuvers.
And there's headphones and stuff, guys, too, if you
Yeah,
want.
so you guys
if
put
you'd
those
like.
headphones on.
And
Because
you
you
know,
hear Beeler squealing much better in headphones.
Oh my God.
and just because I don't want to be a bad host, can I offer you either of you gents a drink? No.
Okay, we're gonna put you guys on camera now. You ready? So okay, now you're
They're well
both on
shaved. They're
camera.
clean cut. They're good to go,
Yeah.
man.
Andrew Conway and candidate for Kitsap County Sheriff Rick Kuss joins us for the second time this election cycle.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having us.
I think third
Thanks
time
for being
overall,
back.
right? I mean, you've been on here before this cycle, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been earlier,
Upstairs.
yep.
Yeah, he was on about 2 months ago.
No,
but I also
before
came
then.
on
Before
when
that.
we
Was
were
it?
still on
Yeah,
KITZ.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you been?
Been great. Been really busy, but I've been having a lot of fun and meeting a lot of people, and it's been exciting.
How's the campaign going post primary? Like what do you take out of the primary results, and what are you hearing from people?
So from the primaries, we all heard the whole low voter turnout and the problem, getting them to vote and the solutions, trying to work on it. So I'm not about doing the same thing over and over again. So we're going to switch a little bit of our strategy. But from the big thing that I've heard from those primary results was, so Brandon and his friends got a lot of people, some Republicans, to vote for him, right? And so the thing that I didn't see coming was a lot of hard Democrats. They looked at the voter pamphlet. They compared smart people. They compared us side by side, and they made a decision. And I've heard this from several people. Even your great friend Tara Simmons showed me on her phone that her friends Democrat all across the board, except for Republican for sheriff. And so there's something there to that. And so we need to capitalize on that and move forward with that. So that's what we're working on.
There is a movement, I feel like, in this state, and I don't know how substantial it is, Rick, so you can tell me what you think, but there is a movement that we've gone way too far away to the progressive policies in regards to law enforcement. How significant is the movement, and what are you hearing that supports that or doesn't support that?
Yeah, so I'm hearing several people that, as far as, first of all, the sheriff should not be a partisan race. And a lot of them, when they're looking, what are they concerned about? Their personal safety. And the policies on the far left are just taking that away from them. So a lot of people are waking up and looking and being like, what do we need to do for our county to ensure we are safe? And that's where you're seeing, and that's where I'm seeing the whole divergence, where the Democrats are voting for a Republican candidate for sheriff because they want to feel safe, and they know those far left legislative policies are just not helping them feel safe in their home.
It's interesting having had your opponent in here. Brandon, there's a youthful naivete I felt in interviewing him. Nice enough guy, but in talking to him, I was explaining to him exactly what you're talking about, right? The sheriff has to be somebody that everybody can look up to, respect, and have faith in, right?
Right.
And we live in a world, whether people think it can be done or not, where if you support the Second Amendment and you live in Washington State, you can still have that little itch in the back of your head that said, what are they going to do this session? Right. And so part of my point to him was, I said, you're a precinct committee officer for the Democratic Party, right? You should at least drop it, drop the appearance of being a card-carrying Democrat. It's okay if you are, but like those two things are too closely related, right? And in full honesty, he kind of looked at me like I'd just run over his dog in the driveway. And it was just kind of like one of those moments where I was like, dude, I don't know that he has the right mindset for the position. It just seems he's too willing to play the politics, and you're seeing that on his posts online, and
I mean, like it or not, the sheriff's position is a political position. So you do have to be able to play politics with both sides in that position, because unlike other people that represent, the sheriff does have to represent every single person in the county.
Right. I think, and when I simplify it, it's like this. If Rick is the sheriff and the Washington state legislature passes a law that tells you to go around and collect people's guns, I'm willing to bet Rick's going to say, yeah,
and
no,
that's
that's
something
unconstitutional.
I love about Rick.
Right?
Yes.
And yet when you look at the opponent, right, I have every indication that he's going to say, when do you want us to start? And that's where keeping the politics out of the conversation really matters, right? And there's an unwillingness there.
But have you asked him that?
Yes.
Okay.
Directly on
All
this
right.
show.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you were here.
You guys should
No,
ask.
I was.
You might be.
You should ask Rick about that.
What should I ask Rick
Yeah,
about?
ask him
Go
that.
ahead, ask me.
Rick, if they passed a bill in Olympia that said it's time for us to start rounding up some guns, some of these guns, all the guns, whatever, and you're the sheriff, what do you do?
I'm going to say absolutely not. I'm here to protect your Second Amendment right. So pack sand.
Right.
Pack sand.
So
I lost mine in a boating accident.
I assumed correctly. Thank you, Rick.
Be careful. If you tell Governor Ferguson to pack sand, he'll go buy some on taxpayer money.
And pay $900 for it.
That's right. That's right. And outsource it. What do you think it can get that bad, Rick? Like, honestly, do you think that Olympia can swing that far? I mean, is that a real valid concern?
It absolutely is. We've seen them kind of push the envelope constantly. And every year you're like, it's not going to get worse. And then, well, yes, it did.
Yeah, it did.
And so there's talk that they're going to take a kind of a break against law enforcement this upcoming legislative session.
That's nice.
But
So far.
I don't believe that at all. I think they're going to keep coming hard down on law enforcement and try to take people's rights away and just, hey, we're in control. This is what we do. And people got to stand up and fight for our rights.
100%. Andrew?
They respond directly to the voters. So, I mean, when the voters vote for these sorts of bills, they just keep pushing them and keep pushing
100%.
them, pushing them until somebody pushes
Yeah.
back. Right?
They've
So-
stepped over that line so many times now they can look back, can't even see where they started.
Well, and we always think that it's going to stop, right? Like
Right.
everybody has this idea that there's like a pendulum,
Mhm.
right? And the pendulum, but for whatever reason, I mean, look at California, right? The pendulum just keeps swinging.
That's right. Yeah. It's kind of like broke going one direction.
Everybody's waiting for the pendulum to swing back, and
Yeah.
nobody's. It just hasn't happened.
Can you, and I'm not being weird when I say this, but Rick, can you tell us who Andrew is and why he's sitting here with you?
Yeah. So Andrew is a detective with the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office. So Kitsap Sheriff's Office, he's with them. And so he also is a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserves.
Cool.
Thank you for your service.
And I think that kind of brings out the whole background of my campaign. It's about leadership. And so I think together, as a former retired Navy lieutenant commander and then the lieutenant colonel in Army Reserves, there is leadership there. And another thing with this run is I have a Kitsap County detective on my team. We need to change this together. Everybody's like, well, you don't have anybody from the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office supporting you. Well, he's right here, right next to me. And together we're going to make this change and we're going to win.
No, I dig it. I appreciate it.
Andrew, let me ask you a question because
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Brandon is in that office. And so I think it's telling that you're supporting somebody who's not in the office currently. Why are you backing Rick? Like, what do you see out of Rick that says this is the guy that needs to be the sheriff?
Well, like I've kind of said in some of the campaign conversations that we've had so far, like Rick and I have a similar background. Rick was an officer in the Navy. I was an officer in the Army. He has a certain pedigree in leadership, right? So when you grow up in the military forces you into leadership schools over and over and over again, and they develop you, right? So whether you like it or not. And so I know there's a baseline there with Rick that nobody in the sheriff's office has, other than those that are prior service, right? And so the folks, like one of the stark things that I noticed when I became, because this is a second career for me. This is not a first career. I've only been there for 9 years. And one thing that I've learned right from the get-go is that things are run very differently. There is a general lack of leadership training in law enforcement. There's not really a place where they go to get leadership training. They don't learn how to lead forces, how to lead troops, and all that kind of stuff. They do get a little bit of operational management and emergency management and that kind of stuff on the ground, but it's wholeheartedly different. What I knew about Rick is that Rick would come in at least with that pedigree. I didn't know much about him before I journeyed into this, but that much I did know. And that to me is what I think if we had somebody in the sheriff's office who was leading and steering the ship, who had leadership training and actual leadership experience, I think that would solve a multitude of the sheriff's office problems that it currently faces. So that's kind of what my foray was into this.
I know Alicia has a question, so I don't go ahead, Alicia.
No, if you needed to follow up on that, go ahead. No, I need a second.
It's not, okay. You guys were talking about some of the issues that you feel need to be corrected. We don't have to talk any specifics, but can you give a general idea about what some of the issues are that you guys feel need to be addressed?
Yeah, so I'll start out. So the big thing is the whole drug task force issue, the whole cartel in South Kitsap, and kind of being like
dealer, get the hell out
ground
of Kitsap
zero.
County,
And
right?
so I think we need to bring that drug task force back. And there's like two options. You can either make moves or you can make excuses. And so far for like the last 6-7 years, it's been excuses. And so I'm here to make moves. And that's why Andrew, with his detective experience and my kind of like political background with the leadership, reaching out, networking, and talking to the other agencies that will all be involved in that and establishing that 100%. I know confidently that I can have that done before my end of my first term.
If you win and Andrew becomes it's under sheriff, is that the appropriate?
Yeah,
term?
he will be the under sheriff if I win.
So would you still be a practicing detective, or would you be going into just straight up management?
Yep, it'd be management.
Gotcha. You sure you're gonna like that? Okay.
It's familiar for me.
Okay.
I mean, so on the military side, that's what we do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I don't know. We'll get into your MOS later, and then we'll. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I was a former tanker for 11 years, dude. So we're good. We're good.
I'm just glad that that the Navy guy is leaving the ticket. That's what matters to me. Hey,
can I please ask my question? I
yes,
remember.
I was just gonna say, Beeler, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thanks, Kevin.
You're so testy.
Well, you always skip right over me, and you had that going back into my radio voice. So I was like, oh, here we go. Don't do it, Kevin.
No, I was just about to kick it to you. Go ahead, Beeler.
Thanks, buddy. Okay.
Ask your question.
How are you guys gonna support the jail there? Because I know in the past the jail has not gotten the attention they need. It's been an ongoing issue with pretty much every sheriff. Maybe Boyer was pretty good, I think. But anyways, what are your plans for the jail?
So yeah, my big thing is making sure staffing is a priority from them, because everything kind of, if we don't have the corrections officers in the jail, then deputies can't arrest. They're going to be, their booking restrictions are going to be like, oh, it's got to be a felony basically only, or we're not going to, because there's 2 wings shut down. So getting it fully staffed is one of my top priorities for the jail, and equally with the sheriff's office in its entirety. So not just saying, well, after we take care of deputies and all that stuff. No, equally important is getting the corrections officer staff and listening to them. I've did the tour with them, and I saw the places where things were leaking, backing up in the former detective's office and stuff like that. There's just been so much wear and tear on that facility that we got to think long term.
Since 21, and it was happening then, and I worked there for 7.5 years. So it's been going on a really long time.
Yep.
So will you make me a promise and my friends that work in the jail that when you get into office, that it's a priority for you to take care of the jail?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I guarantee there will be changes in the jail for the better. Because
and please consult them, because they got this shit down.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
they don't need big changes. They just need support, and they need that.
Like repairs to concrete walls. Yeah,
absolutely.
Please,
They're the subject matter experts. So obviously listening to everybody that's actually doing the job and knowing what needs to be fixed is how we go about that.
That brings up the uncomfortable follow-up question, which is the county's in financial crisis, right? So how do you, and if you don't have an answer to this, that's okay, but how do you approach that, knowing that, hey, in order to get my departments properly working, I've got to fully staff my jail? Like, how do you have any idea how you would go about that, where you would find the money, how you would cajole them? I say cajole, twist their arm into getting them to put out the money?
Yeah. So obviously the big thing for any kind of like budget type thing, the first thing I look at is like, what are we spending on and where can we save money? What areas are not a priority, whereas like the jail should be? And so taking care of the internally first, Kitsap County Sheriff's Office, what are we wasting money on? And there's definitely some big ticket items that are being the money's going towards where we shouldn't prioritize them. But then the same thing, countywide, we should all have the same, we're on the same team. We all have the same goals, ensure public safety. But then there's several grants that are also, and I know grants are like a short-term fix, but there's also several grants that are available statewide and federal that aren't being applied for. And I had one person tell me that there was a Kitsap County deputy that went and did the work, put in for a grant, and when it went to the top, they just shut it down. So
that's not cool.
I encourage that, like, hey, find money. We'll see if we can reward you somehow for doing all the work that you put into it. So I'm all about that. But it's also a lot of the things that we're spending money on. There's also like state budgeted items that will fund certain positions. And so we need to not just look internally with what is the county doing, but where is that money out there? And there's definitely some federal money available that we're not looking into. There's kind of the default assumption that since we're a sanctuary state, that Trump won't give us any money, anything federally because of that. Well, that's not entirely true. So there are options that we have. And how do we find those? We talk to our partners. We're not isolated as the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office. What are other agencies doing and what are working? The networking aspect of this job. And I think that's where I have a significant advantage over my opponent.
I can understand that, Kevin.
Is the one advantage to the Dems deciding they don't want to arrest very many people is I think it alleviated some of the challenges with overcrowding at the Kitsap County Jail. For a long time, it was very overcrowded. I'm assuming if you make changes in policies, it's going to ratchet up what the bed count is. How do we address that? Because it's a finite amount of space. Is this something at some point we're going to have to look at expanding or building or something to fix what was an issue before that is only not an issue now because of negligence by the Dems?
There's lots of questions.
So there's some aspects of that. So number one, a lot of people, and this is where kind of my discussions with Democrats kind of stands out from what they think of me as like, oh, you're a Republican, so you're hard on crime, arrest everybody. No, I'm big into evidence-based policing, which means what works. There are diversion plans that are very effective, especially with like drug court and stuff like that. And the thing is like managing them and supervising the people that may be on community custody, making sure that they're held accountable. So there's ways to go about it that have true results based on evidence. And that's where my background in with my master's and working on my PhD, I learn these things continually. And so if it works, let's do it. If it doesn't work, let's not. And so there's several things we can balance with making sure we have enough bed space so deputies can bring in the bad guys. But I think it all starts there.
It's interesting because for our perspective in politics, we talk to almost every single person who's running every year, if not every other year. And there's a lot of people, and this is to your point, you're like, if it's working, let's try it. Or if it's going to work, let's try it. If it doesn't work, then we quit, right? A lot of people aren't willing to do that, right? They're more concerned with being right all the time with every decision they make. It's analysis paralysis, right? So they just, no, it's not broke, I won't fix it. And when we look at how we had a previous sheriff who just coming into vote harvesting season decides, you know what, it's time for me to quit. Let's go ahead and just appoint the young guy who here is going to run for the position. And I think a lot of people, myself included, looked at that as a very political thing to do, right? Hey, I'm a Dem. I was appointed. I'm just going to go ahead and retire now. So this guy's running for office. Why don't you just go ahead and move him on up, right? I can understand from my military experience that that's the kind of thing that would really kind of chafe some backsides, So when we talk about leadership, and Andrew, I'm really curious about your perspective on this, having been in Kitsap County and being dialed into the officers here locally. Was that the kind of thing that affected morale? Are those the kind of leadership issues that you guys are looking to address and change?
Yeah, I think that's certainly part of it. I don't know how, I can't speak on how much it's affected morale, but what I can say is for me personally, that was a bit of an eye-opening experience for me on the previous election.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, it was a political move, and it made sense from that level, but it's not a fair and equitable way of handling it, right? I mean, what should happen is at the end of the term, everybody should go who's not sticking around, and then they should run. They shouldn't be able to,
right?
They shouldn't be allowed to put an incumbent in as an undersheriff, retire, and then the undersheriff becomes the sheriff and gets to serve as.
It almost seems to have become a common occurrence
that's how it's
locally.
Been. That's how it's been. This time was a little bit different though, because Brandon got put as the chief of patrol instead. And so the chief of patrol is the heir to the throne in the event that the sheriff and the undersheriff are not available.
Gotcha.
So in that regard, that's how that worked out. But it was an interesting move, right, by the previous, an interesting political move by the previous administration.
Does that kind of lend itself towards the thought that leadership from the top down maybe wasn't what it needed to be within the department?
Well, there's been rumors circulating about the budget, the upcoming budget talks, right?
Mhm.
And so there was some concern about that. There's obviously on the table is the potential of deputies getting laid off, the deputies that we currently have, just because of how much we're going to have to cut.
And we're already short per capita, right?
We're short per capita when we're fully staffed, and when we're not fully staffed, I mean, we're even more short, right?
For sure.
I mean, every night and many of the day shifts now, they're running 4 or 5 deputies short, which is dangerous, right? Like that puts all the people who are out on the street and working their lives at risk.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's second and third order effects for those who live in the county, who are dealing with an emergency of a violent type or something like that. And you may or may not get a response that's as immediate as it should be, right? Just because of the number of deputies that are working and the things that they're responding to at the time.
Yeah.
And so it's a scary thought, and it's a big problem that we've been put into.
And with our, unless you
no, go ahead.
Okay. Little follow-up. We discussed earlier, I think we all acknowledge that we have an issue with drugs in Kitsap County. Are you guys in a position where you're able to discuss a little bit about where some of that's coming from? Are we talking cartel activity? And if we are, what, I mean, I have no clue what it's like for you guys. So give us a little insight in what it's like to have to deal with that, because I mean, we all see television, right? We all see movies. We all know what we hear. It's like trying to deal with the drug cartels. Is it that serious for the folks in Kitsap County?
Yeah. So the majority of the drugs that we get seem to come in from south of the border, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they come up the I-5 corridor, and they end up in a distributing hub like Tacoma or even Kitsap County these days. And so the cartel is the biggest at this point. And the reason why is because they're able to manufacture this stuff so cheaply.
Yeah.
They manufacture, this is why, like, you've kind of seen the disappearance of meth labs, right? So early in the 2000s, like, meth labs around here were a really dangerous thing, especially for law enforcement. And they more or less just disappeared completely. And the reason why is because they can make meth so much cheaper south of the border. They can bring it up here, and it's even cheaper than manufacturing it here in your yard. So, and the federal government has also made it really hard for them to get the precursor chemicals to make the the drugs.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how they've ended up that way. And what we've seen, right, is with the disappearance of WestNet, which was our task force for combating drugs.
Mm-hmm.
We've become a distribution hub for the peninsula as a whole out here as a result of that. It's not going to be an easy task to get a federal task force back, but there is enough appetite here locally that we could certainly build a local task force.
Gotcha.
And I think that's probably the most practical next step.
And then one last question for the two of you. Rick, I'll have you start with this one. Does the general population here, both in King, we could say Pierce, and Kitsap County, do the folks out on the street, do you feel that they truly understand how dangerous a drug like fentanyl is? Because we all, right, like if you're a first responder, right, and you guys are, and you come up to help somebody and provide them with first aid, and they've ingested fentanyl, right? Like, now you're exposed.
I don't think they do, because there's the solution that everybody thinks is a permanent solution, which is just a Band-Aid, is passing out Narcan like it's, that's the answer.
Like a nonprofit who comes straight to your homeless encampment to give you Medicaid. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it definitely saves lives, but at the same point, I think it's taking the fear out of the general population, because they're thinking there's not really an issue because this Narcan will just solve the problem. But if you look at all the data and the trends, it's actually not. And so usually it takes someone being impacted by either knowing someone, having a family member that's affected by that, that's when they're like, oh, this is real. We got to do something about it.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a growing number. I'd say that the number is definitely getting larger of the people who are getting more concerned about it, only because I think there's more people that are being affected by it.
Yeah.
But you see Narcan in people's cars now.
Yes.
You see it's being sold at the pharmacies and things like that.
You can get it at the ferry.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a growing, you never saw that with like heroin.
Right.
You never saw that with methamphetamines or anything like that previously. So I do think, and because of how potent this stuff is, I think there is an understanding among a decent number of people. But again, I think there's a lot of people too that live kind of in their own little bubble, right? Their own little world, and it's never affected them. And like one of the stories I like to tell is like, before I got this job, there's a whole underbelly of society that, you hear exists on TV and people talk about it every now and then, but you don't have any real experience with it, right? Now I can drive down the road and say, oh, that guy's on meth, like that guy's clearly addicted, or that guy's having a mental health crisis, or and that's just something that I was kind of immune to before I got this job. I just hadn't really seen it.
That's definitely crack.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I got one more question, but I'll wait. Go ahead.
I was just saying, and the culture in policing in this state now has gone to the idea, well, we're just going to ignore it. We're going to drive by them when they're in the middle of a mental health crisis or a drug crisis or an alert crisis or whatever, and we're not even going to pay attention to it. We're just going to leave, because they have a right to make a decision about their life, whatever. I want to segue that a little bit. Yes.
We have tons of questions in chat.
Oh, I know.
We're
going to go late with this.
All
If
right.
you guys can hang out a little bit later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to segue this a little bit to what we're doing in regards to drugs, specifically with the youth on the streets and with the homeless issues. Now, the story I'm going to tell is very close to me because it involves my daughter, but it's happening in Silverdale. From the time she was 15, she was on the streets, homeless, doing fentanyl and a myriad of other stuff. The legislature stripped my ability as her father, even though she was 15, to do anything. And the court's response has been, well, we're going to leave them out there. Like they have a right to live their life however they want to. They can sleep in a forest in a wet sleeping bag in a tent with holes in it and hope that they don't get raped, murdered, or killed. Right? How much play? Probably the wrong word, but how much play does the sheriff's department have in how you respond to minors specifically? Because our kids are the greatest dynamic at risk. How much room do you guys have to make inroads into that with the legislature taking this hands off, they've got rights approach? Or can you, or are your hands tied because of what the legislature has said?
We're definitely limited. Minors are a big problem for us on a multitude of reasons. They have done a lot in the legislature here in this state to protect them and give them an excessive amount of rights, and they've taken away the parenting rights of a lot of parents for a lot of this, right? I mean, you can see that it was a shock to us when we couldn't look at our 13-year-old's medical records.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Wasn't that a shock?
Yeah. Like, wait,
holy shit.
You mean I have to have my 13-year-old make a health appointment? Like, they can barely get out of bed, right? Like on time.
Not old enough to legally sign a contract, but you're going to let them dictate. Yeah.
My son's a diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a wicked
insane
problem. It's a hard thing to deal with. And then what this is, what the laws have caused is now we've seen a rise in minor violence, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a rise in minor violence. We've actually seen a small comeback of like gangs. And like the old guys in the gangs are starting to use kids because they know that the kids can get away with these things a lot better than
exactly
the older guys can. And then what that turns into is it turns into recruitment, right? So they target these youth who are having troubles at home or whatever, and they lure them in and give them a brotherhood and all that kind of stuff. And then the females, right? They put them out on the streets. They put them out on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
They get them into prostitution. They take them to Seattle, and that's the way it works. I mean, this is downstream of the laws that get passed, right? Our ability to affect change on that is very limited, and this is the result of it. And that fight needs to be fought. Like, it's definitely something that needs to be fought at the Capitol.
Do you guys share these concerns with politicians when you meet with them, or is it? And the reason I ask is because in the last decade, I've spoken to not less than 8 elected representatives in this state about this very issue. And in the last decade, absolutely nothing has changed.
Nothing. It's gotten worse.
They all tell me to my face, God, Kevin, that's such a sad story. We're so sorry. Let's see what we can do to help. And to this day, nothing's changed. I know that some representatives like Couture have really put efforts out to do it, but they're the minority party and they're fighting against a great wall, right? But Caldeer, I'm not a huge fan of Caldeer, but she pulled me down to Olympia to meet with subcommittee meetings and tell the story. I met with a whole bunch of Democrat lawmakers at the Bremerton City Hall building on a panel that nothing came out of. I talked to Addison Richards 3 months ago and zero came out of it. Are you guys sharing these stories with representatives and getting the same response? Where like to your face are like, crap, man, that's a horrible story. And then they walk away and do absolutely nothing?
For the ones that I have talked to about certain issues like that, yeah, it's kind of like the Republicans like will fight the fight, but our hands are tied, and then you're just not getting the Democrat lawmakers to do anything to take care of it. So
yeah, it's gross.
Same response.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's gross.
So Rick, that with that kind of resistance, that brings me to a question I saw in our chat. What does success look like for you in the first 90 days if you get elected?
So the first 90 days is all about me and my team and kind of becoming one with the organization, with the corrections officers, with the deputies. So building my team, making sure we have the right qualified people in the command staff, and making sure that they all know my priorities. What big thing in the military was that when the commanding officer said, this is my vision, these are my goals, this is what I want you to focus on, you should be able to go around to any single personnel in that organization and being like, what is your CEO's priorities? So everybody needs to know like my top 3. And then any time that they have an option to go that direction, they should say, hey, this is what the sheriff wants. Let's go that route. So making sure it's clear and concise, and not a lot of big change is going to be able to happen just in the first 90 days, but it's kind of setting the plan, setting the framework for that, and then making sure my team starts planning and we all go after those goals.
So I'm sure that when you guys first got together and started talking about all this stuff, hey, I'm running for sheriff. Well, okay, I'll support you. But you guys probably had your conversations about stuff you felt needed to be changed, some things you agreed on, some things you didn't agree on. Maybe like as in, well, maybe if we focused on this, give us a sense of what that conversation was like for the two of you. Maybe something that you guys both thought, yes, this absolutely needs to be worked on, and maybe something that you guys disagreed on, and then how you kind of formulated a plan and got around it.
I'll take that.
Yeah, it's a promotion board question.
So I actually don't think we've disagreed on anything yet. I think we've been more or less lockstep in kind of the vision that we see for the county and for the sheriff's office in particular. I think there's kind of like 3 big buckets that I've that I've gathered from Rick over the last X number of months. Right. One of them is just leadership in general. Right. We want to bring a different level of leadership and management to the sheriff's office that the sheriff's office is not used to. I think this is maybe the scariest part for the deputies guild, right? Mm-hmm. They don't really they don't know what I know about Rick. They don't understand the leadership bit that he keeps talking about, right? For the longest time, like we've had effectively the sheriff and the undersheriff position has been a retiree position. So you have a guy who's getting close to retirement. He gets to max out his retirement at that point. He comes in, he doesn't make any changes, he doesn't make any waves, he just kind of rides it out. And then the next guy of the group gets to come up, do the same thing.
I gotcha. It's interesting.
And do the same thing, right? And that's not leadership to me, right? Like, like I like to make changes. If something's broken, it needs to be fixed. Like we need to change processes and all that kind of stuff to make things a little bit more streamlined and to enhance what's already there. The other 2 pieces, the drug piece, we've already talked about quite a bit. But there does need to be a concerted effort in attacking the drug problem. When WestNet was shut down, we lost a lot of institutional knowledge. Mm-hmm. There's still a number of folks at the sheriff's office who have that institutional knowledge, but are not currently using it. And so that is a resource that we still have in the short term. But a number of those guys are getting close to retirement and we're at risk of losing that altogether. And then the third thing I think is just, it's more of a general problem, but it's just kids, right? It's trying to affect change in children. It's trying to, because the other issue, we have issue with kids and drugs. We have issue with kids and crime in general. And then we also have issue with crimes against children, right? They are for our major crimes division, which is, we all work in major crime. All of our detectives are major crimes. We all do everything. One of the big issues that we deal with on the regular is crimes against children. all the time. They are victims of so many crimes.
You know, it's ridiculous.
It is sickening.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about it either. It's not something that gets publicized that much. But it was one of those, I've had a handful of eye-opening moments with the sheriff's office since I've gotten that job. The amount of crime against children is shocking. And it's just in Kitsap County, right? This is not King County. This is just Kitsap County. And it is astronomical. It is more than half of the work that I have in my workload.
Wow. I don't think any of us realized how much
of
what you're dealing with is crimes against children.
It's gross.
That's
That is disgusting.
Fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hell is wrong with people?
I think people have kind of forgotten. Well, not the predators, but I think people, like, just in general, have forgotten that the kids are the ones that are most vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the easiest to take advantage of, and they're the ones who are becoming more and more unprotected. They're allowed to venture off on their own earlier and earlier and do their own thing. And, sadly, like your kid, like the state didn't back you up on being able to be a parent to your kid. And that's what happens. These kids don't know anything.
Yeah.
They're naive.
We really
they have no
need to-
life experience. Right. And they get taken advantage of. And so I those are kind of like the three major, I think, things that we've talked about repeatedly.
We really need to bring back courtyard hangings.
To bring about what?
Courtyard hangings.
Courtyard hangings. You mind if we ask you some random questions from the chat? You go with that? Okay. Somebody asked about COVID. If we ran into another COVID situation, because we talked about, gun confiscation ideas and all of that. Another COVID situation pops up. You've got mandates from the state. How would you handle that as sheriff?
Can I talk about this one?
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll both talk about this.
So the sheriff's office, I actually think, handled COVID really well. The sheriff's office did not go high and to the right with the vaccinations, right? Because there were a number of officers that were threatening to leave, a number of deputies that were threatening to leave when that whole thing came down, that mandate. The sheriff and the leadership never pushed it. They never pushed the envelope on that. So we didn't really, I don't think we lost anybody to that. In addition, on the enforcement bit, right? So on the enforcement bit of it, they never really, at one point, somebody, I think, pushed out a law that the state was trying to get us to use, a state law that was like for emergency use or something like that only. To my knowledge, I don't know that it was ever used. It may have been used. Like, I'll give you an example, right? We don't very rarely do we arrest somebody who is suspended in the 3rd degree for their driver's license, but we'll use that one if there's somebody that we just feel like needs to go to jail tonight.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like that might have been the way the COVID thing was applied. Like, we don't have any other way of getting this guy out of here. Maybe it's time for him to we'll just take him on this because it's a law that we're allowed to use. But it was not something that was wildly enforced by the sheriff's office. We got plenty of calls on it, and it got so much so that the dispatch decided they weren't even going to dispatch them. They're just, we're just going to cut them out. And they all agreed. So, and I think that was not long after we realized it wasn't quite the boogeyman that everybody thought it was.
Sure. Okay. Rick?
Yeah, so I agree completely with them. I'm not going to be enforcing mandates that come down from the governor. We'll provide the tool of education, making sure people are aware of what the state is putting out and what our actions will be. But yeah, I'm not going to dictate shots either. I know in King County, a lot of people left and then they filed lawsuits and now they're all coming back. But yeah, so I'm not going to partake in any of that kind of stuff. So kind of sticking with the policy that they already went through.
Well, and I think everybody who's followed any of that stuff now recognizes that we were being told to trust the science that is really more opinion than science. And it really divided people, right? I mean,
it really divided people.
Yeah. It was not a good feeling having an 80-plus-year-old woman yell at me because I wasn't wearing a mask in the tobacco store. It was just.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was the reason why COVID was spreading.
I saw somebody walking down the street today with a mask on, and I'm just like, why? You're outside. Breathe the air.
I don't fault those people. Like, you make your own individual choices. You might have cancer. They might have a number of other things.
This is true, but you're outside. It's so good for you.
Your personal choice. You wear a mask. The idea that the government was going to become the enforcer of that is what was ridiculous.
I agree.
I actually was in Safeway.
I'm
once
still gonna think they look like an idiot, though.
I was in Safeway once and I was wearing a mask because I had elderly parents. So I was really concerned about it. But there was this young woman who was at Safeway not wearing a mask. Everyone was giving her a hard time. And I walked up to her and said, "God bless you. I'm glad you're doing that."
Yeah.
Like I'm glad I'm wearing a mask, but I'm really glad you're sticking by your convictions to do what you think is right.
So we have a group coming, a nonprofit coming in, and one of you have to remind me of their name. But I wanted to ask you the question because
trafficking?
the sex trafficking.
Scarlet Road.
Thank you.
Scarlet Road,
Yeah, they'll be on with us on the 13th, as a matter of fact.
In fact, Kevin almost showed up with me to do a photo shoot where all the money went to victims of sex trafficking, right?
And programs to fight it, yeah.
And but I'm curious because even more so than drugs, I think this is a problem a lot of people aren't aware of. Is there anything that the county currently does specifically for that situation?
Well, we actually work with Scarlet Road a little bit. So they're one of our points of contact if we run into somebody who's being trafficked, because they have a lot of resources on that front to help deal with that part of the problem. The county, we've actually been working on, I don't know if you guys have heard about the massage parlors.
Nope,
nothing.
Well, I've heard about some in Tacoma. There's some out here.
I've heard of them in Tacoma.
Happy endings in Kitsap County?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
She's like, why didn't I know?
Okay,
this?
hold on. Listen, maybe I'm stupid. People have called me worse.
What is happening?
But I didn't believe that was even really a thing anymore. Like I thought that was like a wives' tale of how things used to be in the 70s and like whatever it was. But that's still a thing now.
I blame the Navy actually for that.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
The Navy.
I feel like it follows the Navy around.
Maybe the Army, but not the Navy.
Well, that's because you guys could get massages in
Navy.
That's because it was easy to get massages in the foxholes. But no,
For sure.
How prevalent is that with the massage parlors?
It's prevalent. It's prevalent enough that we've actually done a number of operations to try and take them down. And again, mind you, this is just sleepy Kitsap County, right?
Sure.
This isn't a big county like King. But what's interesting about that is a lot of the individual. There's a suspicion that a lot of the individuals that are working in these bars are actually being trafficked. And an overwhelming majority of them are Chinese, Chinese women.
Yeah.
And our understanding is that they kind of work similar to the way the cartel works, right? There's a bag man that comes around to these different massage parlors, picks up the money, and drives them around and kind of manages these under false names and stuff like that. So it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Man, I can't even make a joke about it.
Well, hold on. How do you? So this is a really intriguing question to me, right? Because I would have thought, okay, this is happening in Seattle or Chicago or LA, right? But not in Kitsap, right? How do you guys build inroads into those minority communities that maybe they're here illegally? Maybe they have a strong distrust of the government or law enforcement in general from where they came from. How do you build inroads to build trust in those communities so they then feel comfortable sharing with you what's really going on?
Well, so it starts with the decision that you're going to do that, right? So developing sources and things like that takes a decent amount of resources. And unfortunately, it's not something that we have a lot of at the moment. Like we've had to cut cases. This inevitably falls on the detectives, right? And we've had to cut cases because of the overwhelming majority of cases that we have and the prioritization of them, right? That kind of stuff is proactive activity. So that's the kind of stuff that we would like to do, just like drug enforcement, right? The problem with drug enforcement and the problem with like the Westnets of the world and things like that is it takes months of working sources and talking to people and things like that to develop a network of people to buy and sell drugs and things. This is very similar to that, right? This is very similar to that. And so the issue is that it's manpower and time. We've had people who have kind of done this as like a side job who they have their normal caseload and they've just kind of taken it on themselves that this is something that they kind of want to try and develop and work with. The one thing I'll say, like we've had some benefit of working with like federal agencies on this because they've developed networks, and that's kind of where this information has come from. That's not something that we've developed organically. That's something that we've kind of been trained and we've come to understand.
Yeah, makes sense. Not reinventing the wheel.
No. And then the targets that we develop are just from what we've learned over the time, right? So,
Absolutely. Rick, question for you from the chat.
And I'm just reading this direct, okay? No offense. Rick, how has your role with King County changed your perspective or prepared you since the last time you ran for sheriff?
So last time I ran for sheriff, I literally retired from the Navy, and then that month I filed to run and went through the whole campaign thing and whatnot. So after I lost, I applied to become a deputy sheriff with King County. I got hired on, and it's kind of the whole law enforcement experience. I've been getting a lot of it on the street level, dealing with a lot of crazy stuff, kind of like really eye-opening, like kind of what Andrew mentioned earlier. It's just like you see a whole nother world that that everybody doesn't know exists. When you go into all these different houses that you're like, oh wow, people live like that.
Right.
Or when you have to take kids away from parents because of things that are going on, or the amount of sex calls that you get because something's happened to a children, you got to forward it to SAU. So it's really been eye-opening. I think it's given me a lot of experience in a wide area of policing. And the great thing is, like, King County gave me all that experience, and now I'm really ready to go back into the leadership role that I had. And so taking that experience, taking my graduate education, grabbing Andrew and going at this and just really trying to prepare myself for the next step, which is becoming Kitsap County Sheriff.
So I got one last question for him, guys.
Yeah.
So you guys can come up with your next questions. It's all good. We briefly touched on this earlier, or maybe I just saw it in the chat, but this is a couple of people asked similar questions. Election's over. You guys win. You're in office. How would you choose to, or how would you be forced to deal with Kitsap County and Washington State's sanctuary policies?
I think you want to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you don't have a choice, right? You're just kind of forced into it. So we've been dealing with this at the sheriff's office already, and part of the, like Rick already touched on a little bit, we've kind of been precluded from applying to a number of grants just because of the sanctuary policies, right, of the Trump administration.
Yeah.
And so that is a constraint that we will have to work under, and we accept it. Like you mentioned, there are likely other grants out there. There are certainly other grants out there that we likely can apply for to help augment some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the Trump administration is due out here in a couple of years too. So that'll fall under Rick's term, and the sanctuary policies may or may not change. Like it's, so. Well, I mean, that's probably the best opportunity there.
And I would suggest, I think that part of the reason why people are asking is because we're seeing what's happening in New York, right? So you have some sheriffs openly, giving the finger to the governor, and she's now threatening to do all of these things to them if they don't absolutely institute their policies. And from my perspective, right, I look at this and I'm going, yeah, let's see, the governor or the city council or the mayor, whatever, institutes their own policies on people that are here illegally, right? And then they insist that you follow their policies just like they insist they're not going to follow federal policies and guidelines, right? So, like, it seems to me that there are some politicians who put us in this position now, right? I don't like the idea that a governor is choosing to ignore federal policy, or a mayor, And I know the first time that we found out that Kitsap County was, quote, a sanctuary county was years ago, but I had come working from immigration. So it was a bit of a surprise, And I think it makes it harder on you guys, because if you pick up somebody for a major crime, right, you're stuck. You can't do anything with them. You can't call ICE or anybody else, can you? You're prohibited from doing that.
No, we can still handle them though. So if they, we've had a number of cases like that recently where it involved an immigrant, and we can still enforce the law against them. We just can't enforce immigration law.
Right.
And we're not allowed to call on a lifeline and bring in somebody from the federal government to help deal with that part of it.
It's so weird though.
It's it's in every other facet of our job, right? We work with federal partners on just about everything, right? But not that one.
Right. Well, we all just saw that article that came out, was it a week or 2 weeks ago, about ICE operating in Port Orchard, and the Port Orchard Police Department putting out a statement so that everybody knows, yeah, we weren't involved in that. So it's just, it creates a lot of confusion for people, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll follow with the Keep Washington Working Act. That's between the state and the federal government to resolve that issue. But in the meantime, we will, ensure everyone's safety, including their immigration status.
For sure. Well, I can appreciate that.
Margie asked about foster homes and halfway houses. That's not really a sheriff question, Margie. So we can talk about that later, but that's not really.
But there's tons of questions in there.
I know, that's why Paul asked about that last question, your dealer. Sell your panties down.
I don't know. What you're
Yeah, and
talking
I don't want to get into the conversation of whatever happened in Belfast yesterday because I have no idea what happened in Belfast yesterday because they are a third world nation and news travels very slow out of Belfast. So
that was if you saw the live video, man.
I'm not. I haven't seen it. I'm not going to ask questions about something I haven't seen.
It's okay. The guy that got taken down deserved it. That's all I'm saying.
And I don't see the questions we haven't asked you unless you come across one of me now.
oh my gosh.
Thank you. All
I'm
right.
not going to stare at my phone.
How do you guys?
Also, it's making me
How do you guys handle the rest of this time? So we've got a month and a half until election day. What do you guys do in the next month and a half to is it a month and a half? No, 2.5. 2.5. I went to public school. It's math. What do you do in the next 2.5 months to get that message out to voters and to educate them about these issues and that there really is going to be a divide between you and your opponent on some of these key things? How do you do that?
Yeah, so the first thing that's coming up, we have the fair coming up this week. And so I took vacation for this year to be at the fair. So I'll be manning a booth the entire time. So
Nice.
it's a good time to, when people come by, to talk to them, especially point out the differences and where I stand on different policies, answer questions and that stuff. But the other thing is, combining us and doing a lot of events and just getting the message out there about the differences. And like I said, so that voter pamphlet that actually persuaded a lot of people in one direction or not. So when you do side-by-side comparison, I think it's very easy to understand who they should vote for. And I think getting that message out, Kitsap County wide, the ones that aren't on social media, the ones that aren't going to the events. But I think that's kind of the key in winning this election, is making sure everybody sees us side by side and you make your choice. Don't look at the R, don't look at the D, just make the decision on who would be best for Kitsap County.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you have another question?
No, I'm getting myself more comfortable because I hate these damn
The chairs.
stools.
Yeah. Can you do something to Sheriff about her stool? Can we get you to come on again one more time as we get closer to November, since it is 2.5 months? Because I thought it was a month and a half.
There's a lot of October surprises that come out.
A lot of October
Lots
surprises.
and lots of October
absolutely.
surprises.
And another thing is, so we originally had a debate kind of scheduled, planned in the beginning of the cycle when we started filing stuff out with the Kitsap Alliance of Property Owners. So they sent the email out to my opponent. He never responded, never showed up. But I was told today that the Libertarian Party is trying to get us to a date. I think it's like September 14th, a Monday next month, to do a debate so people can see. So I accepted the invitation. So I think we're still waiting on a response from my opponent.
Oh, interesting, because we could facilitate that too, put it all out there on air for everybody to see. We've done it a bunch of times over the years.
I always get nervous, and I don't have anything. Like, I really like you, Rick. So preface that by this: I don't have anything against Brandon, right? Like, we interviewed him, seemed like a nice enough guy. But what annoys me is when people have the opportunity to debate and to get in front of the room with people of an opposing view and they refuse to do it. That always makes me question what's really the makeup of this person running, right? Like, if you're going to run for office as sheriff, you should be accountable to everybody as sheriff. You should explain your vision as sheriff. You should answer questions from people as sheriff. You should be out there, not hiding behind the fact that you've got a D next to your name and you think you can coast.
Yeah, if you want to set up a debate, I accept. Right now, I'm talking about
Perfect. There we go, Kevin.
All right, Lori, will you coordinate that?
Right here, man.
Coordinate that. We'll do that in October. We'll do that in early October. How about that? Guys, listen, thanks for taking time on a Sunday. Thanks for coming. Thanks for wearing some Husky gear. It's nice to see some
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. They're going to have a really good year this year, by the way. There's some talk that they could be making noise. So it'll be good. It'll be good. Rick, who are you for?
My daughter was a Cougs, so I'm a Cougs fan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're kind of evenly divided, and we don't hold that against you.
I'm ready for disappointment.
Listen, we went to W2. We know all about this appointment.
I went to CWU, but in the debate between Wazoo and UW.
I like Central too, man.
I stick with my east side of the mountain.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cougar on the regular.
So that was our two disagreements, by the way. Navy beats Army, and Cougs beat the Huskies.
Dude, what universe?
Okay, listen, I'm going to agree with you on that. We all know that the Huskies far dominate in every single sport there is, except for maybe once every 15 to 20 years.
Say the Cougars.
Maybe one season.
The Cougars are good for a win every 10 years.
Can we at least all agree that both schools are better than Oregon? Can we just agree with that? Can we
No problem.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's all good.
And by the way, if you're dating a woman who's an Oregon Duck fan, clearly her bar is set really low. Do you know? Listen, do you know why there's an O in the middle of Oregon's Autzen Stadium? Do you know why the O is there?
Throw your Coke bottle at
It's the number of national titles the Ducks have won. Did you know that? Yeah, true story. Guys, listen again. Thanks so much for coming in. Let's do this again.
Good to see you
It was
again,
a great
Rick.
chat. There's so much more to talk about.
Yeah.
Rick, keep kicking down doors on the campaign trail and letting people know about the mission.
For sure. And Andrew, pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Can we take a break, please?
Yeah, but that's what we're about to do.
Yay!
See, Beeler has the bladder of a 12-year-old. And so she has to go use the
It's 8:24, buddy.
I know.
I've
We
had
had
it
guests.
longer than I have in a while.
We had guests. And their guests are more important than your bladder.
Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't even get up. So that's something.
You do know you can. You do know you can just get up and go in the middle of the
Yes, I do know that. I do that all the time
I'm
because
sorry.
you're
You're
not
making loud noise. I don't want to listen to you right now. We're going to take a break. I muted her mic. We're going to break. When we come back, more of the show. Thanks again to Rick Kuss, Andrew Conway. Find out. Do your research about who you're going to vote for. The sheriff's position is important. It matters. It'll shape the future of this county for the next 20 years of selection law. Because the policies that go in place now reverberate for the next 2 decades.
So it's important to educate yourself and decide who you're going to vote for. Stick around. More of the show. We're back after this. Outlaw Radio Network.com. All right, folks, if you're looking for quality cannabis products in Bremerton, stop by Destination Highway 420. Conveniently located on Hollis Street, Destination Highway 420 offers a wide selection, premium flower, edibles, concentrate, pre-rolls, vapes, and more. Whether you're a seasoned consumer or if you're new, their knowledgeable staff is going to help you find the products that fit your needs and your budget. Great selection, competitive prices, and friendly service. Every visit, every time. Stop on by today and see why so many customers choose Destination Highway 420. Reminder, you must be 21 years or older. Please consume responsibly. Destination Highway 420, your destination for quality cannabis in Bremerton. All right, it's Outlaw Radio Network, 8:29. The clock's all jacked up. Our scheduled breaks and everything are all thrown to the wayside. But we had a really good conversation with Rick Kuss and with Andrew Conway. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I was letting you guys get situated before I turn the mic on.
I find it so amazingly refreshing to have him come in and say, hey, this guy's going to be on my team, right?
Yeah.
This is my number 2.
Tom, why don't you just block that camera? That's a great idea.
I think it's a great strategy when you're running for office, because you're telling people, I'm thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. I'm playing chess, and I legitimately appreciate that. Tom, all they're seeing is your ass crack on the.
I love how you guys are having side conversations and the mics pick up and people know what you're talking about. I love it. Can we talk about Rick behind his back just a little bit? Are you okay with talking about Rick behind his back? Hold on.
Let's talk about him.
We'll turn Beeler's mic on now too. I like the guy. I think he's got great plans, and I think most importantly he is surrounding himself with people that are going to lend themselves to doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Brandon's not. I just don't know anything about what Brandon is.
I like what you said. You made a great comment about Brandon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against him. Seems like a great guy. He's very personable, and one day he may make an excellent sheriff. But and again, we need to reach out to him and have another interview with him. But
Lori's taking care of that tonight.
I'm very disappointed that he has refused to drop the Democrat PCO tag.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's allowing people on the left to politicize the position, and that is not what we need as sheriff. And that's why I kind of said I felt like there was a youthful naivete there, right? By not removing that stigma, if you will, from his candidacy. And I've mentioned it to him many times on his public Facebook page, you know, and it just kind of gets glossed over and ignored, for obvious reasons.
I think the thing that disappoints me the most about Brandon, to be completely honest, is he's been very silent on the Tara thing. And she has shared photos of her with him. I believe he has shared photos of him with her back before all this stuff happened. And I would expect somebody who's supposed to be law and order to come out at some point and say, hey, by the way, now that the ethics complaints are out and funneling money, which I still think that there's bigger crimes potentially that could be looked at. Again, I'm not an attorney. But this idea that he would just be moot about it, right?
Yeah,
is a challenge to me. I just wanted to come out and say something. And if he comes out and says, "Hey, listen, I think this was an honest mistake," I'm not going to agree with him, but I would respect the fact that he's not ignoring the elephant in the room. And no, Tara, I'm not calling you an elephant. But you know what I mean? I would feel much better if he would just come out and say, because they've been aligned together online. So when you get aligned with somebody, you're tied to the route that they go, and that's something I want him to address. So yeah,
you're completely right. Tara may be a sinking ship. We don't know. She may win running away too. I mean, who knows? It's very unpredictable right now.
Yeah, never can tell with those North Enders.
Well, especially because we saw the undervote count? Am I kind of right?
Yeah, undervote and
was substantive,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems that the tide is slowly shifting, at least from the public comments I'm seeing on social media. Are you kind of seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I kind of.
So I think people are finally taking, and I can't tell you how many people I've heard make the comment. You go and you post something that she's done or that she's responsible for, and the first response is, "That's not true. It's a lie." And it's just like, you want to copy the receipts?
Right.
Like we have all of this stuff. Like, we're not going to make an accusation. She gave $30,000 over 2 payments to a nonprofit in Las Vegas that she then turned around and came up here and opened up her own and gave it basically the same name and it is affiliated, right? And people will look at you straight in the face and go, "You're lying." It's just like, yeah, you're right. I just pulled all of those specific facts out of my backside and made it all
pull
up.
it right out of my ass here.
Yeah, for sure.
I do have breaking news, by the way. I don't know if you guys heard about this. There was a major fight on Front Street in Paulsville last night. A bar fight got out of control. 40 or 50 people involved in the fight in Front Street.
Yeah.
I will repeat what I said on Facebook. This is when you make people pay for parking downtown. So if you make people pay for parking downtown, they're going to fight in the streets. It'll be total anarchy. I'm not advocating fighting, but listen, 1776, people had to stand up and rise up against an oppressive government. I'm not saying that's what happened in Paulsboro, but I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Have you heard of the podcast History That Doesn't Suck?
Yes, I love that podcast, man. I listen to it every week.
I'm in the middle of. I started over at episode 1, or started at episode 1. And
I've tried to get the Professor Greg Jackson on the show. I have messaged
that would be
him.
so cool.
Because I would love to ask him, if you've never watched it, if you've never listened to it, you guys shoot us on Spotify.
It's really
History That Doesn't Suck. I would love to ask him what he sees replaying today from history, not from a political viewpoint or anything, but just what do you see replaying? What is the trend that you're?
Yeah,
he's a smart dude. You would love it. It's history based.
Yeah, I love
it. It's
history.
all American history. Yeah. I'm all caught up. So right now they're in the middle of telling the story of World War II.
Also, Lori, thank you so much for bringing in brownies with bacon on them. They're so good right now, especially with this Coke Zero.
Yeah. Well, none of us eat healthily. Yes, Lori, how may I be of assistance?
Can you turn down the headphones?
Those headphones? I have to figure out which one you are.
She's number 5.
Number 5.
Is that better?
More.
Down more. All right.
Would you guys be terribly upset at me if I took over the couch again?
Well, no, I think we're going to have a guest in a minute.
Oh, that's right.
But after that,
okay,
you totally
after that, okay, good.
No, I don't mind you. I don't mind you taking over the couch. I'll just turn the camera on so people can see you lounging.
I'll just sit up regular. I didn't know you were going to turn on the camera like an asshole when I was laying there.
Oh my God, shocker. Sometimes Kevin does mean things. Surprise! Anyway.
We could charge for that.
Questions in the chat. Tasha, were you at the same place I was at this morning without saying where we were, but were you at the same place I was at this morning? Reply to that in chat. Tasha knows what I'm asking.
I'm confused.
Now is not the time
The
to be
massage parlor
ambiguous.
from the last segment.
Oh, is that where Kevin
Yeah.
was? The massage parlor.
His head was still there.
What? Oh, get
Yeah.
out of there, out of the gutter. Yeah, Tasha said yes, sir. So, so we were at the same place this morning. I got to, I had to sing for 3 hours this morning. I'm so tired.
Oh my God.
Now I know what it's like to be a rock star. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but I'm wiped tonight because of it. So, Tasha, congratulations to your husband. That's phenomenal. And I wish I had seen you. I would have told you hello and congratulated him. So say hi to me next time. Okay. Paul said we had a guest.
Paul did say we had a guest. We do have a guest, but
So I
our
don't-
guest is out there talking to our last guest when
I
she
know,
should be in here talking to us.
It's like a guest. It's like a guest thing. Hey, I do want to bring up an idea that I have though. I think people that are convicted.
It's right
of-
there.
I think people that are convicted of starting massive fires, like the one that we saw in Eastern Washington, and the one that's going on. There's another one outside of Reno.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is looking like it's going to be atrocious. And it's called the what's it called? It's called the Hawk Fire.
Yeah.
Or as I'm calling it, the Hawk-Tua Fire. But the Hawk Fire is 90,000 residents have been told to flee around Reno. I'm not a huge fan of the death penalty, but these
it's insane.
These sums of bitches
You know
need to be put down. If you're gonna start a fire that ruins the lives of 10, 30, 40, 50, 70, 90,000 people. Well, I mean, like I'm not going to equate property damage to one person to the death penalty, but you're talking tens upon tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of people, plus the budgetary hits that it does to municipalities and cities and states where they have to pull money from other funding to fight these fires. Like you're messing with millions of people at this point. Death penalty. Sorry. I just can't.
I was literally having this conversation this morning with my best friend Heather from Spokane
Hi,
and my
Heather.
best friend Lisa here.
How you doing, Heather? How you doing, baby?
Did you call her Leather?
Heather.
Okay, Good
just
Lord,
checking.
man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyways, we were literally having this conversation,
How you
and the
doing,
things that came out of my mouth were almost exactly the same things that came out of your mouth.
Yeah, I'm rubbing off.
We
on
can
you.
imagine.
I'm rubbing off on you. No,
Mine was a little more flowery.
these fires are horrible. I mean, they're absolutely horrible.
100%, man.
What happened? North of Spokane? With those fires north of Spokane?
Yeah, just
700 homes easily, if not more.
Yeah.
75,000 people told to move and get out of their homes and go to, and you don't know what you're coming back to. You don't know what of your stuff is left. Family heirlooms gone forever. Photos you'll never get again.
It's
horrible.
And you talk about it and you talk about how bad it is, but people never seem to be willing to discuss but why, right? Because we're seeing these fires, and I think it's been 10, 11, 12 years now where we're seeing not just a forest fire, but they turn into monster fires, and they do it fast, right? So I think that it's reasonable for us to ask ourselves why. What has changed from a policy perspective? We can have the global warming debate, whatever. You know how I feel about that. But fires are not as a result of global warming, right? Well, if there's a cyclical temperature change, okay, temperature goes up 1 degree on average, or half a degree on average over the summer. I'm sorry, that doesn't lead to super fires. Something on the ground does.
Yeah.
And it's not laser beams from outer space and satellites setting stuff on fire, everything except a blue roof. Yes, I'm saying that for you folks, and you know who you are.
Come on, Paul.
But I think, okay, maybe there was a laser beam from outer space. But I'm not subscribing to that yet. Okay.
So you're saying Elon Musk is an arsonist. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Well, some people think that the government uses things like HARP and other things to control weather patterns, and now they use it to control lasers and other stuff. Listen, I don't. When you
some of you crazy sons of bitches didn't think Epstein killed himself. Stop with the conspiracy nonsense.
He didn't kill himself. What are you talking about?
He totally killed himself.
Paul Beach
did not.
Totally killed himself.
Did not kill himself.
Hung himself in the cell.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
And the Twat Waffle Award.
I'm sorry. That's right.
Sorry.
You guys still believe that Epstein had so much virtue.
Okay, we're getting off task
he
here.
He wouldn't commit suicide.
Fire.
We have a guest.
Fire.
Stick to the topic, Kevin.
Anyway,
it's all your fault.
Fire.
Hold on. I want to push back on one thing that Paul said. I do believe in global warming. Now, whether or not it's human contributed, that's the different conversation to have. But there is, listen, I'm 55.
Cyclical climate change is real.
Okay. But and again, I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
I'm 55 and I know the weathers as they are, the winters in this state as they are now are way different than they were when I was in my teens.
Very
so
true.
There is a significant change. And I do believe that change can lead to more significant fires. And I don't think what happened in Spokane is a policy issue.
I think it's a direct result of policy issues and environmental policy issues at that.
I don't think Spokane is. I think what we see on this side of the state with the piss poor forest management, I think that is a policy issue. I think Eastern Washington is a giant box of kindling waiting to go up at any time because it's much drier there in the summer.
You go camping anywhere over there and you better have a little self-contained propane stove or you're not having a fire to roast marshmallows.
So I don't think Spokane necessarily is a policy issue, but what we've seen on this side of the state and the devastating fires over here, those are all poor policy decisions, and most of those are federal,
just like we've seen in California. Policy issues,
and most of those are federal because most of the land where we're seeing these big ass fires are in federal parks in federal areas.
So, like I said, we should have the conversation at some point about the policies that lead to these seemingly huge fires every single year, and they just seem to be in different places, man. And I still haven't gotten over what happened in Los Angeles. You know, to think that only 5% of the people that lost their homes have even been able to start rebuilding, that's insanity.
That is nuts, man.
This is what happens with governmental regulation.
100%. So listen, we've got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
This is such a softball. Isn't deregulation grand?
Waiting for
Touche,
it.
Tom. Touche.
Hold on, but
isn't deregulation
the
grand?
converse to that, though, is if you took away all levels of government regulation, then you wouldn't have government regulations on the insurance companies, and then they would find their own ways to get out of paying claims.
They already
They already do.
I
They
already
already
do
do.
that. And
It'd be worse.
No, it wouldn't. Because if we were to shut down all of the government mandates about you have to have this insurance, you have to have that insurance, and made the insurance companies actually play on a level playing field in a free open market,
Thank you.
we would be fine.
Listen, and as a contractor, Tom can acknowledge this, and I know that you've had some issues with contractors coming to your house and working.
I can't get contractors to return a freaking phone call.
Oh, bite me,
That's
doughboy.
because you ghosted everybody.
I don't mean you. I mean
Karma.
I mean these septic people I'm trying to work with.
Well, anyway,
Karma's a bitch.
the point that I was going to make is is that Tom and I have had to deal with plenty of insurance companies as contractors, and the stuff and the excuses that they come up with to not pay on a claim, it's asinine. Frequently, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I would bet money, however, that there is some sort of incentive system so that when you're an insurance adjuster and you go to a house, you're looking for a reason to not be able to
because
pay
you
your
bonus
customer.
off of it.
Yeah. So
The more you reject, you bonus.
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck me, I was right. Oh, okay.
There's congressional testimony back from
I believe you.
What was it? The tornado that ripped through the Appalachia Mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I listen, clearly it denotes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when it comes to insurance companies, I've always maintained they're one of the biggest scams on planet Earth.
Yeah.
So especially when they're mandated.
And Tegan said in the chat too that they can't even get insurance over where she's at in Okanagan County.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, this is why there's got to be some level of governmental regulation, because you would just have insurance companies carte blanche saying, well, this whole swath of area can't have insurance now.
Well, they're doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
They've been doing
I
that.
think the government has
already
to
do
get
that.
involved
Yeah.
and address that.
No, the government has to take away the monopolies so that those insurance companies have to play ball. So that they have to get the customers.
You can get a general liability policy that covers you, your home, and everything else as a general contractor. Why should a normal citizen be able to do the same?
Okay.
All
right.
I mean, as a general contractor, you can get insurance, your general liability that covers you driving your vehicle.
Yeah. You know more about this stuff than I do. I'll defer to you.
Hell, I used to get broad form insurance for driving.
Right,
So that
yes.
no matter what I drove, because
Yeah.
I used to drive so many different things, I was like, okay, I'm insured with whatever I drive.
Women crazy doesn't count, but
well,
I still appreciate you.
That was a good one, Paul.
So we have Tawny Cowan sitting on the couch with us, and
Tawny, can I
and-
turn your camera on so people can see you? Okay, perfect.
And
Here we go.
first, let me say this.
I am thrilled that you were able
You had time to stop back by.
Yeah,
Right. Especially after the article that you put out this morning.
Right on.
Dang,
Yeah.
girl. Dang.
Yay,
That
thank
was
you.
that was impressive. It was well written. And one of the places I reposted that was on the far left Bainbridge Island page. And
They still let you in there?
Yeah, they haven't kicked me out.
Wow.
But but the very first comment was from a reader. She read through the article and she said, "Thank God somebody that approaches journalism from a straight up fact standpoint." And I was just like, exactly, that's why I love the article so much.
Thank you.
So
one way though, if you don't mind, put my Substack link in it.
I can do that. Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to do right now is get my
Do you have an
articles
echo?
to show up on a Google search.
I got you. Okay.
So now Google has got me all set up.
Sure.
Recognizing it, and so the only way to get it into the top 3 to get mentioned, like with the Kitsap Sun and things like that, is by readers engaging with it and liking it. And so then Google's like, okay, let's go ahead and put this in here.
Yeah. I will go back and then I will post the Substack link with the article. The reason why, because what she's talking about is I took her article and cut and pasted, put the whole article in there. Because for whatever reason over the years, what we have found is people are willing to read something almost no matter how long it is, but they're lazy as hell and don't want to click on a link. They just don't do it, But I will absolutely go back and do that for you. Thank you for correcting me.
If they can, if they want to. It just helps. It helps me as an independent out here get some stuff out there. And I'm trying really hard to not bring any bias, to just give people the news and let them make their own decisions.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. And like I said, there's plenty of reasons on both sides of the terrorist image issue, for example, for people to go one direction or the other.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Let me jump in really quick. We're getting some concerns about some audio. There's some reverb or something. So I don't know what that issue is. Would you give her your mic just for a sec? I'm gonna swap you mics and see if that fixes it. And guys, we'll keep working on it.
All right.
But thank you for putting that. Hold on, bear with it. We're gonna figure that out. Tony, go ahead and talk.
Is that better?
No, hold on.
Good Lord, you got to turn the mic on.
I'm trying to fix something over here.
Okay.
Listen, Paul's the guy that shows up 5 minutes before the show and says, "Ta-da! I'm here." Meanwhile,
Kevin, that's usually you too.
but I run things the whole show. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
So, it's really concerning what's going on with the atmosphere of the Democratic Party for the 23rd. There's people that have been in the party for a very long time that remember way back when, right? They remember a time when they didn't elect felons. They didn't elect people who had, done domestic violence, that kind of thing. It was a non-starter if you had that in your past. And then fast forward to trying to be inclusive, trying to recognize that if we believe that people who go into the system for rehabilitation, some actually can be rehabilitated.
I believe that some can.
And
Yeah.
so that led a lot of people to giving Ms. Simmons her chance. But when you're faced with the fact that, they're sending money out of state, they're sending money that's going to self-enrich to the tune of $120,000 a year paycheck, like, you can't really ignore all the signs. And unfortunately, there's a faction within the Democratic Party that has the megaphone, that talks the loudest, that shuts down everybody else who doesn't agree. And that is seriously splintering the party.
It is. The Republicans saw the same thing with the whole Semi-Bird debacle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're shooting the messenger. They're turning their backs on the people who want the corruption out of our system. And it's just really sad. Like, I don't understand personally, and this is my bias, I'm bringing this in. I don't do it on my articles, but I'm bringing it in now. I don't understand why, if you have a perfectly clean candidate that has no priors, that has nothing in their past that would say, okay, this person's going to be needed to be watched because they haven't done things that are exactly on board and stuff. No, we can see Darius' record, right? Up against someone who has had all these chances and is found guilty, and they still won't even accept the responsibility of that guilty verdict. Instead, it's just, I'm going to appeal, and I didn't get a fair shake, and I'm a victim. And, there's a lot of women out here who are victims, and we don't act like that. We don't break laws.
Yeah, because most of us grew out of that victim mentality and say, I am a survivor.
Right. Yeah. And
it's a whole different world.
But more importantly, when we grow, we realize that who we want to become. And when she got out of the situation and she hit her rock bottom and she came out of jail, she had all this opportunity. And she fell back into some of the same patterns. But now with the cover of having that law degree, and now with the cover of having people protect her, and I feel like as long as she has that, she's not going to hit her rock bottom again.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a compassionate side of me wants her to hit her rock bottom so she can come back out of it, grow some more, leave that baggage and things that don't serve her behind her, and then try again. Maybe not for public office, but try again. People can be very forgiving when you say, I did something wrong.
Yes.
I made a mistake. But in absence of that, you can't say, vote for me, when you're sitting here with $15,000 thing and now a report to the Attorney General, because we still want those funds back.
Right.
Where are those funds at? And it was very hard for them to come out against their elected politician and say, this is wrong. That takes courage. It takes a lot of courage. And I just hope that they can get back control of the party, and all these loud voices that are mean to people, that are shutting people down, that are making people feel threatened, that are also propping up, this convicted felon will be able to just fall by the wayside in November.
Well, you are so right. I don't know if you saw the statement that was put out by Paulsville for All and then parroted again by North Kitsap Indivisible, right? They put out that, I'm paraphrasing, folks, don't quote me and don't screw up the video if you disagree with this, but they put out a statement effectively telling people, you have to ignore the character issues with Tara Simmons. We have to remember the overall goal is, having complete control of Washington State and running it with a progressive set of ideologies as our guideposts. And I'm just like, What?
I got
You can't
blocked.
do that.
I got blocked by Postman for restacking that, or putting it on my thing and saying, you don't stand for all the disabled. You don't stand for all the LGBTQ.
Right.
You don't stand for speaking for all the women and single moms. You cannot say that you speak for everybody in doing this, because there is a Democrat challenger who can do all the things that the Democrats want in Olympia, running against this person who I find to be unelectable. And so they blocked me. So now I can't see anything that anybody's saying,
Right.
Well,
we'll pass it along to you. We got.
But isn't that the best part of it?
Everywhere.
Isn't that the best part of it, though? Like, how dare you voice any dissent? Because if you voice dissent among that crowd, they'll block you and keep you from having any ability to communicate at all. Like, you can't even have a cordial conversation with those schmucks without them being, well, we'll just block them then.
But I get to have lunch with the amazing Democrats like I did yesterday for this story.
Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
I
mean, they're in your story. It's not like
Mr. Hebert is an amazing person in their community. He is a lifelong Democrat, and I had lunch with him and his partner Eric and Hanny. We had lunch at the Whiskey Gulch, and it was nice to just hear what he had to say. And what he had to say is, the things that we used to stand for, the morals and the ethics and the transparency and the honesty, seem to be slipping away. And the person that, had the war within themselves and went ahead and did the right thing is now being pushed out of the party. And he himself is like, we need to get back to the moral and ethic code that's going on, because you've got to stand for truth and honesty in our government. Having corruption in our government is just not the way to go, and it's really sad. There are things that are happening where her challenger's own family is being threatened,
harassed,
kids, the wife, it's really scary and it's really dangerous, and it kind of broke my heart to hear that. And I know that he wants to come on your show, so I'm not going to take away all the things that he would want to talk about, but I think that would be a great time for you guys.
Well, and I know that we have a lot of desire in having Jerry on. He has messaged us, so we've got a dialogue with him. And you touched on something early on when you were talking about your article, and I think it gets glossed over a lot. Because personally, what I see is somebody who, maybe she tried to rehabilitate herself. Then she got in a position where she got her law degree, and she realized, well, what is one of the things that lawyers do? They look for that sliver of where can I skirt this, right? Yes. And I think that that's what we've been seeing, and the proof is in the pudding with Tara. She's going, well, I'm a smart lady, and I know as a lawyer what I can do and can't do, and I'm seeing a gray area here, something that isn't specifically addressed. Therefore, I can do whatever she chooses to do. And like you brought up, a point that gets missed by a lot of people is that part of the issue with that $15,000 in fines is because she was funding a nonprofit that she worked for, maybe even when she started. I'd have to double check that. I don't know. But the whole point is, and I think if I understood, so correct me if I'm wrong, if I understood correctly from your reading, was that she was making money for herself.
Self-dealing, yep.
Yeah.
And the money went outside the state.
Yeah.
Like she ran on taking care of people here at home, and yet she's not. She's sending money to Nevada. And where is that money now that she's been found guilty of that? Why isn't anyone asking for that money?
Right.
Well, that was their job there. But the AG's complaint, they can order that for sure.
That's part of that, yeah.
And that's Jerry that wrote that AG complaint,
Jerry's
right?
the one that filed the AG report. And he did it as a person and not as a board member, even though he's a board member.
Yeah.
Because his point is to stand up for what's right, even if he has to stand alone, to stand up for what's right. He's not standing alone, but the narrative that everybody's pushing is just wrong. And I've mentioned to them, you know, in my world, I view it as, well, then why don't you guys just rise up with your own party and endorse who you want to endorse? And I guarantee you, all those moderate Democrats and all those progressive Democrats in your party that are not super way out there are going to join up and going to listen to your leadership. You know, there's a reason that Hanny is loved by all sides, and that's because she listens, right? And they want someone to hear them ultimately.
Yes.
And so I think that they have enough that if they did a coalition or something like that, that they would be able to round up and get Daria elected, because that's going to be what's best for everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it's just a really, really messy situation. So now they're going after Val, you know, now they're trying to get everybody that
Val Torrens, right?
Yeah,
She's the head of the 23rd LD Dems.
Yeah, for now. They're trying to, like, if they haven't already pushed her out, they're trying to push her out. So any kind of whistleblower is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is up with that?
Yeah.
Where is the Democratic Party? Like, that's not the Democratic Party. Usually they support whistleblowers.
Right. Well,
yeah, right?
Like,
it doesn't, it boggles my mind. And I'm just speaking in vague terms here, but if you take a 23rd LDM, they're reasonably and rationally explaining to you how Donald Trump is a grifter, right? He and his family are making all this money. They're doing all these things, but in the exact same breath, but just with the other hand, they're saying, but ignore those very same issues with our representative.
But just so you know, just so you know, there are a lot of Democrats that are not supporting Tara.
Well, let's hope it's enough.
It looks like, you know, because we see it through this tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
The loudest voices in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, it's not the majority.
Oh yeah,
I hope that you're right. I'll take your word on that.
I do, because there's only about maybe 400 members in that area that are actively participating, and the rest of them have dropped off.
Yeah. Okay, but let me push back just a little bit, Tony, because when we look at the vote numbers from the primary, we see a significant number more voting for Tara than we did see voting for Daria by a 60-40 margin.
But that's just people that actually decide they were going to go ahead and fill in that little dot. They both are advancing. So there's a lot of them that I feel might have been holding back either choice, just to sit back and see where things were going. Because if you realize that was August 4th, right? Now the 15th comes out, or the 14th, the news comes out about the fines and stuff. I think that's what a lot of people were waiting on. I don't foresee a lot of Democrats supporting her. I just don't.
But somebody told me, let me just follow up. Sorry, Tom. Somebody told me that their view, and this is somebody who's not a Democrat on the north end, so I'm taking this in stride. This is somebody who's not even on the inside of this, but somebody I was talking to a couple of weeks ago said, look, the people that voted for Tara are the people that voted for Tara. That number is not going to change. She's not going to suddenly get a whole bunch more people voting for her than what we saw in the primary, because if they supported her, they kind of shot their ammunition. The difference is in the number of people who did not vote, those undervotes. If they weren't going to vote for Tara the first time around, they're probably not going to come back and vote for her now. So any new votes that show up are probably going to go Daria's way. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I also want to point out that I think that a number that we need to look at, and I haven't looked at, is how many votes that whole county got, and then look at how many votes how many voters actually participated in that specific race.
Well,
and that'll kind of give you an idea also.
Yeah, voter turnout for the primary this year in statewide was terrible.
Oh, I know. It was less than 40%.
Yeah, I think it was under 30%.
42%.
But well, for Kitsap County, it was just under 40, right?
No.
Oh, really?
Kitsap County is 42%.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. And, and, I mean, that's still, that leaves, well over half the vote that, we, which way are they going to go?
Yeah.
Maybe I was looking at Port Orchard.
203,300.
Hey, Kevin, I think Lori needs her mic on.
Oh, sorry. I had it muted.
Oh.
You could go ahead, Lori. Sorry.
203,335 registered voters, 84,416 votes were cast for the August primary election in Kitsap County, 42%. I was shocked because I believed along
I
with
thought
you,
it was
Tom, that
much
it was much
lower.
lower.
Yeah.
So
Can
that's
we
still.
break that down though and look at it specifically the 23rd, what their voter turnout was, and
I mean,
numbers?
it's still a crap turnout.
It is, but a lot of people don't vote in the primaries.
Which is stupid.
I agree. I agree. And a lot of people don't vote in off years whenever it doesn't matter if it's on a federal. And
Which is so dumb because local politicians affect us more than anything out there.
Okay, so in the race for Legislative District 23, State Representative Position 1, Tara Simmons had 57.24% of the vote. Daria had 39.01% of the vote. So the difference is
how many undervotes though?
Just a second. Tara had 24,583. Daria had 16,753, and then write-ins were 1,603. And this was updated 3 days ago.
Yeah, I show almost 5,700 undervotes on that.
that.
And I'm not even sure where the 5,700 undervotes comes into play, because when I look at the other position in that district, there was a total of about 48,000 votes cast, and this was 41.3. So that tells me that there's actually like 6,700 undervotes between those two races that are missing. You add that 6,700 votes to Daria's total. Again, if we work off of the assumption that if you were going to vote for Tara, you would have voted for her the first time. If those 6,700 people vote for Daria, they're neck and neck. I mean, you know what I mean? That's
right.
How many registered voters are in the 23rd? Do you have that data?
I can check.
And then, how many, whatever we actually had for the actual, the number of votes. But I'm just curious, in the 23rd, how many people turned out?
I'm looking right now. I'm a little slow.
So,
115,000. And that's as of August 4th of this year. They have 115,000 people that could vote. And if that's, and they had 41,000 that voted. So that's 38%.
That's
38, 39%. If I'm doing really quick high school math. Yeah.
Yep, that's crap.
Yeah.
Crap turnout.
15,000.
150,000 registered voters in the 23rd legislative district, and they got 41 people to vote in the Daria race and 48 to vote in the Greg Nance race.
Yeah.
That's terrible turnout.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So when the general comes, I mean, I don't think any of the data from the primary is worth toilet paper.
Tony, I think I'm right. I think it is worth a lot more than toilet paper. And the reason why is because I think a lot of the voters in the North End don't care. I think a lot of voters in the North End see two Ds on the same ballot, and they rationalize that as it doesn't really matter who wins because they're both Democrats.
They're apathetic for sure.
Apathetic, yeah.
But so it does matter though, and I think that the more that we can get reporting on what Tara Simmons is actually doing, I think that we can get the Republicans and the Libertarians that are out in that area to actually vote on that, to make sure that the corruption doesn't win. When it's framed like that, when you are framed with, you got two politicians on the ticket, one is going to steal blind and the other one's not, or that we don't know, an unknown, because of course some people don't like any Democrats, right? They need to hold their nose anyway and vote for him, because we cannot afford to have her in office again. Nobody can.
Right.
We're already having such a hard time with the budget and everything else. We're still having problems trying to deal with the needs here. We can't afford to have someone send $500,000 to Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. So it's very important that everybody show up and vote, because that is a deciding factor on that. We are tired of seeing property taxes go up and stuff like that. It's we got to get these corrupt politicians out. We don't have a candidate for the Libertarian Party. I don't know if Daria needs help call banking or something like that. I might sign up to help, because it's super important to get people to vote.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what else to do, but I know that it worries a lot of people, even the people within their party, so much that they're speaking up about it and saying, we need some help over here. We got a problem. We got a corrupt politician that might get elected again, and we need the AG to come in. We need the ethics board to do their job. We need people to stop this madness. You know,
I don't think the 23rd is an isolated incident.
I don't either.
I think the state Democrat Party has had too much power for too long, and this is probably pretty commonplace, you know, in the larger districts.
I had an anonymous comment to me was that someone in the executive roles is actually someone that helped her either hide or mitigate some of the stuff that she was doing. And so I don't know that I can ever get that on the record. I don't know that I can ever find those breadcrumbs, but I will be looking for them.
Nice. I'd be stunned if somebody wasn't helping her on the top end. You know what I mean? Like, the Dems look after their own, you know?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that see, and that's what tells me that there's a real issue with Tara, right? Like, let's take out all the facts that we know. Okay. Let's pretend all the facts are subjective and remove those from the equation. The Democrats don't turn on each other. They don't hang each other out publicly. That's what Republicans have done in this state for a really long time. And it's something that Democrats have done really good about not doing. But you've got, what's his name? Jamie Peterson, who's in charge of the ethics committee. He's a very high ranking Dem. He's got a lot of influence and a lot of power. He trounced her with those hearings. He trounced her and hit her with the maximum fine. And so even if we take all the facts out that we know, for a Democrat to turn on another Democrat to that level, to that extent, at that public kind of level, after a public hearing and hit her with the max on everything, that tells me that there's some real issues with Tara.
Yeah.
I mean, facts aside, even some of the Democrats want to distance themselves from her.
The only people that contributed to my article were Democrats.
That's amazing. That's great.
You
No,
know,
I love it. I love it. That's great.
And it's because they're worried and they want to be able to take back the narrative of where their party really stands, and they want to lead. And like I said, it takes courage, because you're going up against some pretty mean people, like really, really mean, vitriolic people that have taken the megaphone of the party. And, you know, I think it's because certain people in leadership now on a local level have let the Democrat Socialists of America into the party, or part of the party. And I think that was a big mistake. I don't think that that's the direction it should have gone. By nature of the game, Democrats care about social programs and social giving the social needs in our country the backing that they need. You don't have to go all the way overboard where you're restricting speech and ideas and thoughts and being authoritarian, which seems to be that hard left faction. You know, you can't say that you don't like what Trump is doing and then turn around and say it's okay if Tara does something. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lack of integrity. And I think the people within the party that have brought up this party and helped form this party in this area, I think that, you know, they're stuck of saying, well, yeah, we do care about her sad story. We do care about her being a victim at some point in her life, and we do care about her. But at the same time, like, you got to stand for something or you fall for anything.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think I love a good redemption story as much as the next person. but Tara's recycling it. Like
Cheetah
I was a
doesn't change
victim.
their spots.
I was a victim, and now I'm restored and rehabilitated. And then she's going to be a victim again, and then she's going to be restored and rehabilitated. And it's never going to be there's never going to be a plateau with her. She's going to be a roller coaster the entire time, and she's going to be unbalanced the entire time. It's just what she is.
I compare it to, and maybe people will take this the wrong way. I hope not. I compare it to a lot of people that go through the domestic violence situation. When someone who has super bad anger issues and think that it's okay to hit on somebody gets caught, goes to jail, they go through anger management and they do all this stuff. And what they learn in anger management is how to hide things better. Tara went to jail for stealing, for theft, for things like that. She came out as an attorney. She learned how to hide things better.
Yes.
But she's still stealing. She's still doing the theft. A cheetah doesn't change their colors. It doesn't mean that someone else might not. But with Tara, it's very obvious that she's okay with stealing.
Yeah.
And it's not okay.
And is it safe to assume as well too? If she wins this election, let's say she somehow comes out over
hold on.
Daria.
Before you ask this, let me give you props, because Kevin brought up something, I believe it was last week or the week before, where he pointed out if Tara wins this election, we fully expect to see some types of reprisals, and she's going to, like, I got away with it. Do you think that might be the case, that she'd end up being worse?
A cheetah does not change its spots.
Right, just puts on a jacket.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, right? Not only that, but I think if she wins this election, she becomes unbeatable in the 23rd.
I don't think she becomes unbeatable, but she is a narcissist. So
let me explain why, though.
Well, there'll be bigger scams.
We get further away from these ethics issues that have been reported, right? She survived an election after that. People have very short memories. They're lemmings.
She's got sycophants up north, man.
Yeah. And she'll just learn how to hide her dishonesty and stuff better. She'll get better at covering her tracks, and she'll get better at what she does. She'll learn, well, it was illegal for me to do it when I sent it to Vegas because I did it this way, but if I do it a different way, like, she'll get better.
I don't think so. A house divided against itself falls. Right now, the 23rds are divided. If she wins the election, it's going to fall. Because there are people that are not going on that ship.
But that 23rd is so blue, like hopelessly blue.
I know. And you know what is happening in the 23rd? 2 people went against that.
Yeah.
2 people filed, actually 3 people, right, that filed against her, and they're fighting back, so I don't think that, and Democrats have a history of not stopping the fight. Also, I do not think that the 23rd is going to be able to continue as a strong Democratic force if she wins the election. I think people are going to jump ship. I really do. I get that feeling. They're gonna start doing coalitions. They're gonna start branching off, and they're not gonna be a cohesive one unit.
Yeah.
I don't think they are right now at all.
They are definitely divided. They are at war within themselves.
Yeah, and so,
but I think they're in such an insulated situation in the 23rd, right? Because there's no Republican up there that even poses the remotest of threats. So they can feel this civil war a little bit better, because in the end, they're going to sort their issues out, they think, and they're not going to have to worry about some other party moving in their turf.
It seems like the perfect time for the libertarians to step in.
They're perennial losers.
Oh, no.
I don't know. In this state,
Love
I
you,
think...
Tom.
Yeah, Tanya's libertarian also.
Yes.
Well, I didn't mean that about you, only Tom, because he's always telling me how we have to be golden.
I love the idea. Go ahead.
I think we've got a decade of party development before we really start seeing libertarian candidates across the state getting traction. I think we have a decade. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I talk to the Democrats that are pretty upset about this situation, I tell them, who was the first party that stood for the LGBTQ? It was the Libertarians.
Right.
Reminding them that, even if some of the policies we don't get along on, doesn't mean that they don't have a voice, and I think that they're going to continue to make coalitions, and splinter off. I don't think that they're going to have any kind of cohesiveness. That's why I said it would be nice to get a libertarian because it's middle.
You're not wrong. I actually agree with you. And if somebody said, okay, Paul, you have a choice between, a convicted felon who has not seemed to have stopped her behavior, but she's the incumbent, or you have a libertarian, or you have a Democratic Socialist of America candidate. Like, I will take the libertarian all day of the week, twice on Sundays. 100%. I don't have a problem with libertarians at all. They just don't seem to garner enough support yet, right? That's the only drawback, but you guys are getting better.
Well, I think the big problem is the agenda of, the D's and the R's is to protect the system. So, I mean, getting ballot access for smaller parties is really hard.
I'm a D. I can't help it. It's in my genes.
Yeah. Badger Kitsap said, the truth is always the truth. As a longtime active Democrat, they say, I have to say my Democrat Party is dedicated to truth, inclusion, and ethics, while we do not always do well at making that happen.
I think that's a very poignant statement. 100%.
Well, and I'm just going to say this, if your party is all about truth and inclusion and ethics, then it should be a landslide for Daria.
I agree.
I mean, it should just be a landslide. Listen, I hate to continue to beat the Tara Simmons drum, but just remember, this is the woman who, when Daria announced that he might be running or was running or something, she reached out to me and said, well, no, you really should run against the other seat. Like, you shouldn't run against me because I'm a woman, and you should run up against the other guy's seat in the district. Like, she didn't want to run against him, so she thought, well, you should run against Greg because you're a man and he's a man, and because at some level she's as a woman, she's entitled to keep her seat because she has female body parts. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and it's very much a part of what we're seeing in politics right now. Divide. Keep people focused on their divisions. We don't elect people or put people into government based upon population and race percentages. We that's not how we do things, and we never have. So
I don't necessarily think we have a Tara Simmons problem. I think we have a voter problem.
Well, yes, you're not wrong, but listen, the voter turnout was really low.
Yeah,
in the primaries,
which is number one on the list of problems.
But still, I mean, what's our voter turnout, Tawny? Do you know off the top of your head for a regular election?
I don't.
I thought that I read something was around 70%.
That's still kind of shit.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. But it's better than a lot of other places.
High 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
that would be a dream world.
So you libertarians need to get out the vote. Tawny, you have a mission. You got to tell him.
Hold on, Tom. Here's why you're wrong. You're right that you're right that voter turnout's a problem, right? But you said we don't have a terror problem. We have a voter problem.
We have a voter problem.
But I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
Because in this state,
and why he's going to lose at the Derby.
In this, Paul, you're going to agree with this. In this state, voter turnout numbers are about the same everywhere. 23rd, 26, 35, 14, 18. It's the same.
Right.
But we don't have a Tara Simmons in every district. We have
we know of.
Well, hold on.
That's a good point.
That we know of, but we don't have a Tara Simmons in every district getting brought up on ethics charges, being paraded out amongst the masses as the incorrigible, corrupt, unethical human being that she is. So you're right. The voter turnout numbers are an issue, but we certainly have a Tara issue because Tara has taken the defuckery of every other district in this state, and she said, "Oh, let me raise the ante. Let me see how messed up all the rest of you are, and let me do even more fucked up shit in my district and hope that I'm still going to get elected because the dipshits on the north end see my name with my 2 A's and 2 R's and just as so, well, we recognize the goddamn name, so we're going to vote for her again." We have a fucking Tara problem, Tom. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you and I can be friends again.
See, this is like chicken and egg, because I think the voter problem is what created Tara.
Yeah, I disagree. What created and I think you're being.
It's her thinking she can get
Yes.
away with shit and think she's above the fucking law, which she isn't.
I think you're being.
See what you did, Tony?
I love you, Tom.
You see,
but I think you're like the parent that wants to blame the school district for the fact that their kid's an asshole, right? Tara is the asshole.
What a great analogy.
Tara is the asshole. Tara is the one that got elected into office under promises that she'd change and reformed herself and was going to do something. And the minute she got there, what did she do? She started funneling money into nonprofits. She got her boyfriend a goddamn job. She's broken so many ethics rules, I can't count them on 10 fingers in my penis. There's so many problems with that whole scenario.
Did he say what I think he said?
The fact that she got 60% of the vote for you fucking morons, I swear to God, I'm so mad. I was not going to swear on the show anymore. I was not going to lose my mind. And here we go.
And you just proved my point.
Yes.
By saying these fucking morons, and you were referring to the voters.
Yes.
We have a voter problem.
We have a fourth estate problem.
Thank God. That's why we're so important.
Well, not us, but
because it's not going to us.
Yes,
Us,
this
for sure.
podcast is part of the fourth estate. Yes,
we are. We just don't refer to ourselves as journalists. We're not doing what you do. We're just commentators.
Yeah, we just
But
speak
Kevin,
our mind.
could you never do this wave again, please? Like, would you never
I
do
just
that again?
listen.
That was like T-Rex arms.
The problem, yes, it was. Listen, here's the problem. And Tom, I love you. I really do.
Oh.
But when we make proclamations about voters,
whiskey, it's coming.
Hold on. When we make proclamations about voters or about parties or about turnout, we are removing some of the responsibility off of that knucklehead on the north end.
No.
And I want her to bear 100% of the responsibility for her debauchery.
Okay, I'm not taking away from her accountability, but what I'm doing is pointing the finger at the population at large, going, that's how she got there. It's a voter problem to start with.
But it's also the news media is not running stories on it. It's
Right.
the news media is not telling the truth about it.
It's really a voter education issue.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
But
But it's a voter problem because voters have to want to be educated. But voters have been doing the same thing in this state. Paul, you've said it many times.
Oh, I'm sure I was
since
right.
1988. It's been the same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. We have a voter problem first.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tom, after November, if she gets reelected, I will totally agree with you that we have a voter problem because then the voters knew and had access to know about the level of her unethical behavior. Before this election, Tara did exactly like Tara's like the Barack Obama to me, right? Like you could argue the policies and the processes and what she supports, but you can't argue the fact that she's done exactly what she said she was going to do, right?
No,
She said she was going to see more taxes. She said she was going to try to do bills to help make things easier for convicted felons to get back some level of X, Y, or Z.
She did that and then let it go away.
So she's done everything she said she was going to do. So if you're on the north end, you're literally walking around happy with the job that she's done because she did what she said she was going to do.
I'm gonna
this election. I'm sorry, but this election now we have.
Shut up, I'm sorry.
Now we have proof about her unethical, incorrigible, dishonest behavior, and then it becomes a voter concern.
Just remember, he needs to count on all his fingers and his penis.
And my all fingers on my penis.
And his penis.
But I want to point out why
Not his
Tom
toes.
was right, and I feel
Bigger than my
like
pinky, smaller than my thumb. Go ahead.
You
Oh my
proved
God,
you proved that
Kevin.
Tom was right.
How?
Because when we're talking, he says we have a voter problem, and Tawny's right. We have a voter education problem because the fourth estate here, right? And to Tom's point, okay, you have a whole host of people on the north end who read what Tawny put out, who've read the copies of the text messages that we've put out or the other issues. They've seen that she's been fined, and they still refuse to believe it.
Okay, well, that's a small segment of the population. Not
But it's
everybody is on social media.
But it's the
guys.
loudest.
It is the
But
loudest.
it's the loudest, and the rest of the segment of the population is apathetic,
But
which is
we'll-
the voter problem.
But we'll see what happens in November. That's my only point, right?
I hope this level of corruption, this level of bullshit, this level of whatever is an awakening.
Yeah.
And it becomes less of a voter problem.
The turnout in November was Tara's turnout. right?
Yep.
The people that voted were the people that
August.
knew. Sorry, in August. The turnout in the primaries was a Tara turnout.
Absolutely.
It was people who knew that Tara was in trouble. And so they all made sure they mobilized and they come out. So we're not going to see a huge spike in her numbers come November.
Probably not.
I do expect we'll see a huge spike in numbers for Daria because
Hopefully.
the people that sat on the outside and watched and didn't vote, other Democrats, and most importantly, Republicans. Like at some point, Republicans on the north end, because there are some of you up there. I mean, you guys normally get 22, 23% of the vote by yourselves. Okay.
Right. There's like 30 of them.
Okay. Yeah. So like libertarians in the county. So if the Republicans
And the
finally decide,
independents.
if the Republicans can get off this purple high horse at their own, well, we can't vote because they're not red enough. Shut up. You have two options. You have a better option, Daria, or you have a wackadoodle option, which is Tara. And then you vote for the lesser of two evils, Republicans, and 2 years from now, you reevaluate and see what happens.
I'm going to go on the record. As much as I pray that you're right, Kevin, I think the day after election, you're going to be telling Tom he was right.
You think Tara wins?
Well, I'm not wanting to say those words.
Yeah, don't
precisely.
even manifest that.
Stop putting that shit into the universe, please.
I'd like to say that Daria is a Kennedy Democrat. Daria is a Kennedy Democrat. And
We
sorry,
really
I
like
said
him,
that wrong. But that was back when there were values that we all respected. Even I don't know. I wasn't even born during the time of Kennedy, right? But at the same time, the values that came from that, he barely won that election when he became president. You know, it was at a time where there was a lot of friction and turmoil anyway. But those values of the ethics and the transparency, it still rings true for many, many in that party. And so I still have faith that in the end, the good guy's going to win. And I think that we're going to see something different in November on that. What we need to do is just make sure not to give her a platform.
Let me just say this. I love what Paul said, and here's why. Because I think there has to be an impetus. There has to be a fire under people's ass, which is if we don't mobilize, if we don't vote, if we don't get out, if we don't change minds, if we don't talk to our communities, Tara's going to win. I think anybody saying anything other than that defeats the cause. If you say, I think Daria's going to win, then there's people up there that are going to be thinking, well, I don't even need to worry about it then. Daria's going to win. Who cares?
I see what you say.
You see what I'm saying? And so we have to beat that drum that Tara can win. Tara may win. She's the favorite right now coming down the stretch.
And you know what the perfect parallel is? When Jesse Young ran against Emily Randall. He destroyed her completely, eviscerated her in the one debate that they had.
Oh God, he mopped the floor with her.
It wasn't even close. It was as bad as Trump versus Biden, but she still pulled out the victory. You know, and a lot of that was because people did not take the time to familiarize themselves with her as a candidate and her issues and her stance. You know, she's the only candidate or the only elected official I know that put a bill on the floor and then walked out when it was to go pee when it was time to vote on her own bill.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous stuff like that. Jesse knew it. We knew it. We put the information out there and he still lost decisively. And he was 2 years removed from being an incumbent.
Wow. So then you got the other guy over in the county that's not playing by the rules, Mr. Simmons.
We have Phil Cook will be on.
Right.
I'm
Well,
hoping in the
Mr.
next week or two.
Simmons needs to, if he's listening, which he's probably not, he needs to put in his campaign finance stuff. Running a shadow campaign is not cool. And we will come back to bite him.
And their primary was pretty tight. So
No, the other guy won.
No. Simmons was.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking
Michael Simmons. He's a character. He can't play in my group because he can't control his language.
Gotcha.
And that was before he
like
even.
Alicia here.
Yeah, exactly.
It was before I knew he was running. He got kicked out like May of last year. So when I wrote this article about his campaign finance violations,
And he's not filing anything.
He has not filed anything, and he's gotten fined. He got fined $1,000 with $500 of it suspended if he pays before the deadline of September 21st. But if he doesn't, then it's $1,000. And he also is supposed to have the files in. I tried to get a comment from him. He said that he was tied up with family stuff, so he couldn't even give me a comment. I waited as long as I could, and then I posted the article yesterday.
Yeah.
If he follows up with any kind of comment, as long as it's appropriate to put in my print, I will. But he's a hothead. He's a hothead. Online, he has a lot to say, and I don't think that he carries himself like an adult online. And that's just my personal opinion by watching how he interacts.
Did Ace Haynes get reincarnated? Sorry.
But he just needs to follow the law. And he's run for Bremerton City Council. So it's not like he doesn't know that this stuff is due.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
All right. We're gonna wrap this with this comment from Badger Kitsap. Badger says, really, we're not talking about Tara. We're talking about our failure as a party to have a moral and ethical guidance that supports the basic values of our party that has existed since the 60s. Badger Kitsap, I could not agree more.
That's the voters.
I could not agree more. That's all. Tawny, thanks so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
We love you.
We appreciate it.
We love you. We're gonna make you an honorary outlaw at some point. I think we're gonna get you a cool hat or something.
Her article was the perfect example of why fewer and fewer people are reading the drivel coming out of the Kitsap Sun. Because she kept it straight, fact based, and again, we need more people like that. We do. Can't say it enough.
Multiple people don't like Michael Simmons in chat, by the way. Bruce says Michael Simmons is a complete moron. Anne Marie said Michael is rude and a troll.
His social media presence leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that election. I'm telling you.
Again, for me as a journalist, I just want him to get his stuff filed. Like, we have
keeps
rules.
giving you good stories.
Right.
Also, Bruce says we love you, Tawny. Tawny, thanks for coming in. Let's do this again sometime. All right, Tawny Cowan, you can find it. Paul will repost it on our page as well.
Yeah,
and
we'll post it with the Substack
we'll get that Substack info out there. Listen, support the independent journalists, and I don't just mean like us. Like, I mean, support us, obviously. But people like Tawny and Brandy Cruz, who was way bigger than we are, kind of. Support the people that are doing the independent stuff, because that's where you're getting facts from and truth from, right? The Kitsap Sun, sure, they certainly posted the article about Tara getting hit with the fines and all of that, but you know what they did? They put it behind a paywall. And if you're intelligent, you're not paying the monthly paywall to access the Kitsap Sun, because 98% of it is reconstituted gibberish from Gannon. And so you have to rely on people like Tawny, people like us, people like Brandy that are doing independent stuff to get deeper information about what's going on, or you're not going to find out. You're just not going to know.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Which is a perfect segue to have the conversation about the dark cloud that's hovering over the top of Brandy now.
Yeah. So Beeler's obviously going to the restroom. Hate to see you go. Love to watch you leave. All right. So I don't.
Take care, Tawny.
Bye, Tawny. Thank you.
For those that don't know, Brian Haywood, the guy who's pretty much putting, he's bankrolling the, I think it's Let's Go Washington, right?
The initiatives.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's Go Washington is the organization.
Well, Let's Go Washington isn't. I think Brian Haywood is the primary funder, but I believe there's other.
I'm sure there
Washington
are,
state millionaires who are also involved.
Yeah. Well, and like I've heard in talking to people at the state level, after the stuff with Semi Bird, the wealthy have stopped giving to the state party. They're effectively broke. And to the people that I've talked to, the things that Chris Gergen made, the comments that he made about Jim Walsh not stepping up and doing the fundraising seems to be 1,000% true. And it's unfortunate. I like Jim's messaging. I like the way he gets out and talks to people on his Facebook page. But again, if you have a party in Washington, a main part of your job is out there to fundraise. And so you can point directly at that and say, well, if the candidates don't have the money to fight the fight, they're not standing much of a chance of getting elected either. So I do understand, because I've thought at first, I was like, oh man, Chris is being a little bit rough there. But the more people that I've talked to about this very issue, and they all concur. So the Republican Party, they got a lot of work to do in this state.
Well, I don't just in the matter of donating, right? There's a reason why the Cleveland Browns can't sign any high-end free agents because they're perennial losers. There's a reason why rich people don't want to donate to the Republican Party in the state of Washington. The state party has been on the losing end for the better part of the last 40 years. And it's not a steady loss. It's a growing loss. The party's losing more and more every election. There's more and more seats that are going. The supermajority is closer and closer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I have a lot of money, I'm not donating to the state party. I might donate to individual candidates, right? But I'm not giving it to the party. The party hasn't shown me, and I'm not knocking Walsh or Caleb Heinrich or any of the previous people that led the party, because it's not just one of them. It's been every single one of them. It's been an ongoing trend.
Right. Let's wrap this back. Did you have something you wanted to say about the we had just started kind of explaining it about the trouble, the lawsuits that have been filed against Brandy Cruz and Brian Haywood and others?
I think the biggest thing that we really need to be careful about, and this goes for everybody, whether you're involved in a podcast or you just partake in one, this is really dangerous what they're trying to do to Brandy.
Agreed.
Because basically they're trying to subvert our 1A rights, the
Yes.
First Amendment, free
Yes.
speech.
Agreed. And for those that don't know, basically the claim has been made that Brandy has given a lot of herself and time for fundraising to Brian Haywood and his organizations. And I think they counted up 159 times. Is their claim something like that? Is some number around there?
1.3 million or something like that.
Yeah, and so the claim is being made that on the PDCs for the nonprofits, and I don't want to pretend I know all that stuff. You ladies know it a lot better than me, but basically, like the claim was that Brian and his organization weren't keeping track of in-kind donations and that Brandy was going out and supporting fundraising on his behalf. Right? I get that about right?
Something like that. Basically, it's deeper than that. The Democrat Party is going full bore. They've declared war on Brandy Cruz, and thankfully, she's got a great independent networking system behind her.
Yeah.
So, my understanding is that the first charge is leveled by a PR marketing person for a nonprofit who also happens to run a PAC within the Democrat Party.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. And so this PAC has come after or has solicited the money so that the NGO can go after Brandy, something Washington Ethical Government or something like that, saying that anywhere from $300,000 to $1.3 million worth of in-kind donations for interviews and just mentioning Let's Go Washington's name in her stories, stuff like that.
And it's crazy.
And she's not even being paid for this.
Right. And this is part of this gets to the reason why we tell every candidate that comes on here, hey, make sure that you write down that you were on the show for an hour or whatever, and it's an in-kind donation. And we tell every one of them to do it.
I didn't know we were supposed to be telling them that.
Oh yeah, I make sure I tell them.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks,
That's
Lori.
part of what I do. So
Okay.
I talked to Rick and I said, hey, I've sent you an email to remind you about the PDC, and he looked at me and he goes, I'm supposed to do that? I go, yeah. When you come on, we interview you, blah, blah, blah. I go, don't worry, it's in the email. He goes, oh, great. My treasurer, my campaign manager will take care of that.
Yeah, that's good.
So let me say two things. I think there's question about whether or not he would have to, if we're offering comparable time to like Brandon Myers, right?
Which we do.
Which we do.
Yeah.
But I think it behooves them just to be safe to claim it. The question I have that I don't understand, if you guys can explain this to me, because I don't understand. Why is this lawsuit Brandy's problem?
Because they're coming after Brandy.
But hold on,
because she's named.
But let me finish answering the question, you schmucks. If the issue is the stuff wasn't claimed on PDC paperwork, then why wouldn't the issues be with Let's Go Washington for not reporting her in-kind donations? What? Because Brandy wouldn't be the one filing the paperwork to say that she gave, and I'm not saying she did, but Brandy wouldn't be the one claiming her in-kind donation for Let's Go Washington. Let's Go Washington would have to put that on their PDC paperwork.
You're right.
So why is this a Brandy problem and not a Let's Go Washington
Because
problem?
they're eviscerating Brandy.
No, hold on.
It is a Let's Go Washington problem, to answer your question. And Anne-Marie put it really well. She said, the complaint is that she is using her show to promote Let's Go Washington without Let's Go Washington registering those in-kind donations with the PDC.
Right. But again, my question is, and Anne-Marie's saying what I'm saying, if the issue is that Let's Go Washington is not claiming the in-kind donations,
how's that Brandy's problem?
Then why is Brandy fielding any crap? Like, if I donated my time, if we sold airtime to Rick Kuss tonight, which we did not do, but if we said, Rick, we're going to give you an hour of our show just to spread your message, and we value that hour of $500, it wouldn't be on us to report it. It'd be on Rick and Rick's people to put that in the PDC paperwork. So I don't know why Brandy's catching flack. It should be Let's Go Washington where the flack should be oriented to.
Okay, can I talk now?
Yes, go ahead.
Great. Okay. First of all,
I can't see you.
I love you, Lori.
I can't see you because you're
You
over there,
can
but go
see
ahead.
me. You
No, I
choose
can't.
not to see me.
I
Okay.
can't. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Kevin's multitasking.
they're going. Yeah.
That's when a man does more than one thing at a time.
I hope women can
Thanks for
learn that skill
mansplaining
sometime.
that, Paul, to a man.
To a man.
Somebody had to. He
Yep.
clearly isn't listening to
Anyways,
you
moving
ladies.
on. So what they're doing is they're circling the wagons, to borrow a really old term. They're going after Brandy every way possible. So one, Let's Go Washington. Yes, it's true. They should have filed PDC if we're even counting it as in-kind donation. They are counting how many times she said, Let's Go Washington.
Yes.
Oh.
Not even if it was referencing a news report, just saying the name, Let's Go Washington. So she took it upon herself for like 2 weeks straight to try to say at least 100 times per show.
I love it.
Brandy.
God, I love her.
I love you,
I know.
Brandy.
Anyways,
That is funny.
Yeah.
the other, hold on, I'm not done.
Okay.
Don't, no.
Let Lori talk.
I'm going to
I
see you.
was just going to say, I have a question
Nope.
from the chat that
Not
is
yet.
in line with this.
Not yet.
So, okay.
Anyways, the other thing they've done is they have gone after her money manager.
Right.
After
Who-
Yeah, I heard about the audit.
Yeah, they've audited Zach Abrams. He is Bulwark Capital. He goes on, maybe once a month, and he leads his own podcast and everything. And they do a government swamp watch,
Okay.
basically, once or twice a month.
All right,
Anyways,
man, we should promote his show on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they have gone after him and done an audit the day, or I think it was 2 days after he was on Fox News and said, hell no, I am fighting against this income tax because it directly impacts him.
You bet.
He is in the millionaire class.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then the state of Washington went after him. But they also, in their discovery of his records, they were asking for stuff about Cruz as a client.
How's
And
that
Cruz is-
legal?
It's not.
Yeah, that's not. It's
So then we have more. They're also going after the Let's Go Washington, Brandy Cruz, and they've started going after like different
Jonathan
people,
Cho and
Cho
those guys,
and Ari Hoffman
Yeah.
and all of them in relation to any work they've done with Brandy Cruz. Basically, Brandy has built her brand. She's been very successful.
Yeah.
And they're scared and they don't like it
Yeah,
because she's getting her message
That's
out.
right.
And her message isn't just at the conservatives or the independents.
That's right.
Or the libertarians.
It's just
or,
common sense.
or Democrats because it's common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's shown up to city council meeting and point blank asked Katie Wilson, you've been here for 8 months. What have you done?
Yeah, that was, by the way, that was
That was
great
pretty
opportunity
epic.
and question.
That was so epic.
Yeah.
So this is all the stuff they're trying to do. They're trying to bury her. And so Ari Hoffman responded with, I think it was a 14,000 page commentary documentation, something regarding boys and girls sports, because that's what they're going after.
Right.
They're going after Brandy saying boys and girls sports, and they're going after her against the income tax. Okay, Tom.
So
you have permission.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Tom. I
No,
wanted to make sure I got everything out.
Right. No, that's fine. So all of this stuff just kind of turns around and begs the question, okay, what about some of the other news agencies, entities around Seattle, like the Seattle Times or the Stranger?
Well, they're playing nice because they get all their money from the Democrat Party.
Right. But what about their endorsement of, mentioning candidates? Are there PDC filings for all those mentionings from the Times?
That's
and
why
the
Ari
Stranger
Hoffman filed
Yeah.
Okay.
against the Seattle Times.
And it begs the
Thank
the
you
point
for bringing that up.
It was something I saw in the chat. So I just,
For those that aren't aware,
Mhm.
the sports reporter from, I believe it was the
Matt
Times.
Calkins, he left the Seattle Times.
He up and quit. And
Brandy had him on.
Yes. and why did he quit? He quit on the spot because the paper spiked a story he was doing on the boys and girls sports.
Yeah.
And they did not want him publishing that. And so he was like, F you, I quit. Just quit on the spot. I've seen him on in fact, the guys offered him a job live on Fox News over at one of the sports websites. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's a big one. The owner of it, they have on different news shows all the time. I'll remember it after the show's over, I'm sure. But it was nice to see somebody step up like that and say, dude, you got fired for that. You come work for me. Call my people. I'll get you a job right now.
Yeah.
How cool was it to see something like that? Because, this is a guy that, at least in Washington State, if you take a stand on something like that, on an issue that's pretty hard to the left, right? Your name is defiled here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just it was good to see. It was good to see. So we wish Brandy the luck. We're friends with Brandy. Listen, when people start coming after you like that, you've clearly done an amazing job of building her platform, which she has.
Yeah.
And anything that we can do to support her, we will, because she's an independent like we are. And yes, we take sides. We all have our corners in the round room, so to speak, right?
We all have our worldviews that shape how we think about things.
100%,
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And we try, and I think we do a pretty good job of being able to represent those varying degrees of thoughts, right? Because there's not of the five of us that are here, that not a single one of us thinks like somebody else in here.
Right.
We all have very distinct thoughts on stuff.
Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so outspoken about I posted something, and I wasn't thinking, I was tired, and I posted this video of this young lady that was playing. She did a little scene where Kamala Harris was in the debate, and she basically claimed Trump was full of shit because they were talking about abortions. And Kamala said, I promise you, not a single abortion clinic in America is offering an abortion at 9 months. So the young lady picked up her phone, immediately called and recorded it. And they were like, oh, yeah, we can do that. It's a 5. And the lady on the phone actually told her, it's safer for you to have an abortion than give birth. She's like, well, I'm due any day. She's like, this is safer.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Safer for whom?
Well, and we saw Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
Was it Massachusetts or Maine this last week?
Yeah, that we're like celebrating it.
The women and the
It was
governor.
disgusting.
Well, have you guys seen the case with the mother that strangled her 3 children?
Yes. Why are people I get it. Postpartum depression. Cool.
Yeah, which is real.
But please, for the love of God, she killed her 3 children. Can we not make her a fucking martyr?
And the people, the Code Pink folks are out there like holding up signs for her to free her and stuff like that. And I just was shaking my head like,
what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really doesn't.
Wait, we have to repeat that. That wasn't on the microphone.
Oh,
What she
sorry.
said?
She said something. Now you have to say it out loud.
Amber said, postpartum doesn't make you kill. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had it, but.
Well,
Thank God for that, Paul.
Remember
I
Susan
wouldn't be
Smith?
here today. Once, and I felt really bad that I flushed it.
Do you remember Susan Smith in South Carolina? She was the one that got the boyfriend, and the boyfriend didn't really want to be with her because she had kids. So
she drowned her
she
kids in the car.
strapped her kids in the car seats and then pushed the car seat in the lake and then blamed it on a random black guy. The left would work so hard to get her off.
Yeah.
In today's world.
Yeah.
Like they would work so hard to get her off.
Looks like
did she get probation?
No, she's still in jail.
Is she still in jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the comment was made we are renaming her from Bathroom Beeler to Beeler on her back.
Who the fuck said that?
Guess. No, don't tell her. Guess.
Robert Parker. Fuck you.
You're on camera.
I cannot stand those stools. Thank you. They kill my back. That is why I'm laying on the couch.
It's okay.
So
We
quit
have no
being a little
judgment.
bitch.
We have no judgment. You're fine. I sat
it
on
is
the
a
couch.
comfy
It's comfortable.
couch.
Yeah.
It's a comfy couch. I've napped on it many
Yeah,
times.
I'm thinking about a nap right now because I'm really ready to do voicemails because it's coming up on 10 o'clock.
Oh crap! I forgot about voicemail.
Yeah.
Let me get those ready. Hold
We
on.
do.
You guys just talk for a
We
second.
got to do our voicemails for sure.
Yeah, it's a weekly thing. People like it. I'm getting voicemails left. You know,
my
it's pretty awesome.
my favorite so far though was still the Shaggy. That was a
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that show so I can hear it.
Robert
great
Beeler says
first
to
voicemail.
put an L&I claim. Is what Robert says. Put it in L&I claim for the chairs.
Good
And
luck
I
with
claim for the chairs.
Yeah.
Listen, I will say this.
I can't even get Kevin to stop sexually harassing me
What are you talking
with
about?
HR, and you want me to put in a claim with L&I? Come on!
Hold on.
Sexually harass you. What
Was
are
it
you talking
sexual
about?
harassment when you walked out to go use the facilities and Kevin said, what did he say?
I hate to
Lori?
see you go, but I'd love to watch you leave. That's
That
what I
is
said.
absolutely sexual harassment.
I don't know. I didn't say anything out of
I
line.
appreciate the clarification. Was just checking.
I'm not even an HR professional, and I know that.
Wow.
Jeez.
Don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Started before the show.
So
It started way before the show.
So for those of you that aren't aware, we've been doing this for a long time. We have very close bonds, great
Bless you.
relationships, great friendships. We're like a
Salud.
family here on the show.
Yeah, we are.
Still
And-
hope you die in a fire.
And so we give each other a lot of shit. Like how one of my best
Stop
friends says, I
saying
hope
that.
you die in a fire. Like,
Jeez, Kevin.
I'm glad I don't take that too personally.
Right? I'm glad, Paul.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to do voicemails. I can't log into the system to get our voicemails. So
Oh
we'll play
my
them next
gosh,
week.
Kevin.
It won't let me log in. It errors out every time the site's down. There's nothing I can do about that. It's out of my control.
That's because he heard one of those and it's his
No,
ex.
I didn't hear any of them. I haven't listened.
It's
I
his
intentionally.
ex?
Yeah,
no,
his ex left
Which
the
one?
voicemail.
no, I intentionally
He doesn't
don't.
know.
I intentionally. Somebody who said they had a kid with me. That narrows it down. I intentionally.
To like what, 9 or something?
33. No, I intentionally don't listen to the voicemails because I want to experience them just like you guys do. I don't want to know what's coming.
I get, well, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Surprise!
All right. Comments in chat really quick.
Every time that's happening, Kevin's got poof, another kid.
Is that like surprise? Here's the knock at the door. Or,
Margie is giving you advice, Beeler. A bad back is a gut sucking action. Need exercise to strengthen gut muscles. Helps your back.
Yeah, that's probably it. Has nothing to do with my job or anything.
Parker said, at least it doesn't look like she has her pants undone while laying down tonight like she did last week.
Yeah, because these pants fit. The other ones didn't, as I said. Fucking Parker, will you get off my ass? Jeez.
No
Gotta be
comment.
careful on how you say that.
Jake said, Kevin, quit cheating on your wife emotionally. I'm not married, but thank you for that.
What?
Not yet.
Not yet. Jake said, due to a hysterectomy. Okay, guys, look, we're getting into some PII here. So,
what?
What the fuck is happening right
I
now?
would say
I don't
Robert
know.
has
Turn off the camera, Kevin. I'm done being on camera. Just fuck everybody. Turn it off.
Kevin Nelson said, we still love you, Beeler.
Turn it off, please.
Jake said, slacker.
Yeah, Parker's got the crowd
She's ready to
kinda
leave early. She
wrapped
said.
up
He
for
says.
you. I mean, listen, it's all done out of love.
Paul, please say one more fucking word so I can punch you in your face. Please.
What the fuck? What did I do?
Let it go, Paul. Let it go.
I heard the whisper, man. I heard that whisper.
Let it go. Let it go.
Now I'm a Disney song.
Yep,
I've been
pretty
relegated to a
much.
Disney song.
So Terry said, I think that you're talking about the girl that strangled her kids or whatever. Is that Linda Clancy? She's only a martyr of the mental health system. She still needs to face the consequences for killing her children. I don't know enough about the story, so I can't help.
I don't know a lot about it. I just know that she claimed postpartum depression and mental health issues. I think bipolar was even thrown in there. But
She's a
she said,
labor and delivery nurse. She
Yeah.
had 6 different providers on 13 different medications that were interacting with each other.
yeah.
and she had been to the hospital, urgent care, and providers. I'm not making excuses.
No, but that's relevant.
Yeah.
It really is.
That is valid. Yeah.
Yeah. And I totally I don't understand, but I kind of see where people are making connections on the Code Pink side because the husband remarried within a year. If you look at the woman he married, she's a carbon copy of the first wife who killed her children. Just a younger
That's
version.
a little creepy.
Yeah.
Those men all like the younger versions, don't they?
Yeah. And so, and he went on an errand. There's a lot of conspiracy theories on this one.
Well,
I
you should-
haven't dived into it.
Well, you think Andy will dig into that? She could come on and share with us.
Oh, yeah. Andy would
I'm
love to
sure
do that, maybe.
Andy's on it.
Yeah.
So
For real.
I've got firsthand experience with people on mental health meds doing really weird shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to discount anything.
I've dated a lot of women that should have been on mental health meds. So, there's
well, I've
Because
got
of
that
you?
experience too.
Yeah. Margie said,
Hold on.
Kevin, turn off my camera.
Say that one more time, Lori.
I didn't say anything.
Kevin, turn it off.
Margie said
If you
organ
didn't hear it,
harvesting.
it doesn't matter.
Margie said organ harvesting. I'm not sure what that's about.
Movies.
Next week we'll be making our NFL preseason picks.
Organ harvesting would be related to children's sex trafficking
Okay.
as well as adult trafficking.
So, and in the
You're on
next
camera.
couple of weeks, we will have Phil Cook on, Kitsap County Assessor.
Oh, you already got him?
So, yeah, I'm just, we were trying to coordinate schedule
Oh,
for
okay,
which Sunday
perfect.
he's going to come on.
Then I won't reach out to him.
So,
okay.
yeah, I've been talking to him today.
Okay.
Lila is doing what I hate that people do, which is you don't meet my pre-checked boxes, so you're not of whatever party.
Whatever.
Right. You're not. They were telling Badger Kitsap that they're not a Democrat. Like, can you just accept that there's different Democrats? Like, I hate it when Republicans do it too. This isn't a party thing.
Can you accept that your opinion is not a fact? Shut up.
Dang, Tom.
Wow.
Wow.
I am so
I
tired.
like
of
this, Tom.
I'm so tired of
right?
people taking their opinions and treating them like facts.
Right.
I mean, that's part of where we've gotten to now, and I'm just really fucking fed up with it.
Yeah. Doesn't it bug the shit out of you when you're sitting there and you're talking to somebody about something and you give your opinion and they're like, well, you're wrong. And here's why. My opinion is wrong. It's an opinion, right? I mean, I'm not
There's many
suggesting Kevin
layers.
does that to you all the time.
I don't.
But he does it to you all the time.
Somebody posted in chat, Beeler. I want you to guess who said this. Your free time with Beeler has expired. For further, you might want to sign up for OnlyFans. Because I turned your camera off.
Listen, I subscribe to Beeler's service.
Who do you think said
what's
that?
it called? Like,
Yep.
I'm
Say that in the
or something.
microphone.
Robert Parker.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get our final thoughts out, Kev. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
And it's time to go home before the monsters come out.
So just a really quick couple things. Next weekend, we'll make our preseason NFL picks. We'll get back into NFL pickings in the last 15 minutes or so of the show. We're going to try to do it much quicker this year. But since Beeler never shuts up on football picks, it's really hard to do.
Oh, yeah, that's totally my fault. Also, I'll be sending you my picks beforehand and leaving at 10, just so you know.
Lila said, and I quote, "I call it like it is. Blow me, Tom." I have questions.
Wait,
I kind of have questions too.
Because I thought Lila was the
that
she.
work?
How do you blow she? I don't understand. I'm confused.
Come on, Lila. We're just looking for a little consistency.
It's a confusing world.
You identify how you want to identify based on the insults you want to give. Okay, I got it.
Oh, I love this.
Jake.
An opinion is a fart nobody wants to smell.
Thank you, Donnie. Jake says, "Fuck, are we talking
That's a
about
good
soccer?"
one. I like that. Yeah.
We could.
No, Jake, but I'd be happy to. But
No,
somebody here doesn't like soccer.
Are we
Doesn't
talking
think it's a real
soccer?
sport.
Yeah,
No, we're not.
talking soccer.
I love soccer.
Football.
We'll talk
Not
soccer. It's
tonight,
after
we're
10.
not.
Football.
No, we're giving our final thoughts
Yep.
and then we're cleaning up and going home.
Robert then said, "Now Beeler is sending her picks to Kevin ahead of time." I don't think she meant those kind of picks, Robert. She meant her football.
I meant my football. God, will you just shut up? Will you stop reading Robert Parker's comments? Just ignore him.
Lila, listen. I have to listen to the listeners. They're always
it's
right.
like, hold on, Kevin. This is like being a parent and telling your kids to stop fucking touching each other.
Yes.
Kevin, stop touching.
Yes.
You can never see my hands. Okay. Lila said, and I quote Tom, "You can suck my girl dick all night, Tom. I assure you, you won't make me come."
Why does Lila hate you so much, Tom?
I don't know what Tom did.
Just because I called out that opinions are not.
Oh,
well, and we all have the right
Things have
to
gotten
offend
spicy.
anybody, and you have the
Yeah.
right to be offended. But
it's still my opinion, right?
Yeah, it's still your
At the end of the day.
Well, I think you owe an apology to Heather, Tom's wife, for that proposition. I don't think that's okay. I think
Heather would beat your ass, Lila.
I think he's in a relationship.
She's scrappy.
and I think we as people,
Heather would. Yeah.
we as people should respect those relationships.
Mhm.
Unless it's me and I'm talking to Beeler, and then all bets are off. Okay. Lori, do you have any parting shots?
I do. And I feel really, really bad about this parting shot. Yesterday was Doc Loves the Kids, which is a great community
Yes.
get together, I guess you would say. Children receive backpacks,
Yes.
school supplies,
Love you, Doc.
haircuts. I saw Dennis DJ D's post about how they had an ice cream truck and the first 300 kids got free ice cream.
That's so awesome.
And it was
Love it.
it was a trampling of the horses, basically. to get to the
That's
ice
so
cream
funny.
truck. All I could think of when I read the post was Eddie Murphy.
It's,
You know.
It ceased to be Doc Love the Kids and became Beyond Thunderdome. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly.
Two
But
man, one man
anyways, if you are a person in the community that would like to help out, Doc Loves the Kids is one of the best community
Well,
organizations.
Yeah, Doc Blackwell's an amazing human
Yes.
being.
He is.
He really is.
So even though everything happened yesterday, I'm sure there's still needs. So please, 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 Doc Loves the Kids. It's on Facebook. It's out on Google. Go check it out. If you want to donate, help out. Because there's always more needs.
Oh yeah. I mean, he puts in a year-round effort
Yes.
to fund that one day every year.
Oh yeah, and I mean we're talking ice cream. There was music.
There's
there
bouncy houses
bouncy
and
houses.
foam pits and
Yeah.
barbecue and and
That's
snow
right.
cones, and with the kids and families who go out there pay zero for any of it.
And they get free backpacks.
Yep.
They get their school supplies. They get shoes, I believe. They get haircuts.
There's a shoe when they can get barbers. Doc's been having a hard time getting barbers
Oh,
the
has
past couple of years.
I mean, he was having such long lines for haircuts, man. You kind of felt bad for the people volunteering their time.
Yeah.
Because that's like, if it was me, I'd feel like, well, these are customers that aren't going to come into my barber shop now, but still, name recognition, building your brand,
helping the community.
It's all important. Yeah, 100%.
Quick comment in the chat. Lilat said, what I said was, you must be a Republican. That isn't calling them a Republican. It's quite effing different, Kevin. No, it's not. You must be a Republican is calling them a Republican. You're not saying you sound like a Republican. You must be implies that they Lilat, decipher your own code.
Let it go.
Okay.
And besides that, Heather has responded with grrr.
Grrr.
Just saying what I say.
Robert said, Robert with two comments. Robert said, Doc is a great dude.
Yes.
Robert would agree. And then Robert asked for your OnlyFans information to be shared. So there's that. All right.
Robert Parker, quit being a cunt.
Robert, Robert didn't ask for OnlyFans information. That's all Kevin.
I made that up. That's so
Kevin.
good.
Okay, sorry, Parker.
That's so good. Gotcha, Robert. All right. Beeler party shots.
Well, I kind of ruined it because I was going to say I was reminded today of who I am with all of the cunt things I've been getting from people. And
if you know, you know.
I have always called a cunt. Now, I may not have always said cunt. I have evolved over the years.
She's definitely showing the diversity of the word.
See you next
But I will always speak my mind on that. And if you're being a cunt,
That's
I'm
good.
going to call you a cunt.
You should. It's one of the things
I'm
I
glad.
appreciate you about.
I'm glad you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyways,
the
that's
timing
my.
isn't always the best, but
I still love sunsets and I still love rainbows and
There
I
you
still love all the beauty that we get, but I will always call that out.
amen.
That's good. All right. Tom, parting shots.
Thieves suck.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
thieves
they do.
suck.
Mhm.
Last week I had my new headphones for the podcast, and I put them on my workstation here in the distillery, and we were closed on Monday and Tuesday, so it was no chance of problems then. But sometime between Wednesday and Saturday, some asshole stole my headphones, and I'm just thieves suck.
Dude. Sorry.
People really
Thieves
suck.
That's all I have. If you're a thief, go stub your toe on
Well,
something.
if you listen to Lilat, that'll be Tom soon.
Paul, that was a good one.
Wow.
Not my type. Not my type.
That's some good stuff right there. Okay. Wow. Listen, there's been a lot of sexual tension talked about on this show between me and Beeler. But I really
That's not
believe
I'll be on your side.
It's really not.
But I really believe the sexual tension that needs to be talked about from here on out is Tom and Lilac. I think that really is. In fact, I think I'd like to propose starting next week we debut a new segment called This Week in Tom and Lilac's Relationship. I'll get some cool music and that'd be great. That'll be amazing. All right.
You know what's going to come out now that you said that.
What?
You don't use your imagination slightly, right? Because that information that'll get cut out, and then you will be labeled as anti-LGBTQ trans.
What? Because I'm supporting Tom and Lilac's relationship?
I'm just saying because you're making fun of it. They're going to find a way to spin it. Okay, we'll stop talking about it.
I do need to interject something here.
You're married?
Tom's married.
I am always the big spoon.
Okay, perfect.
Tom, that was perfect.
That's not where I thought he was going to go with that.
That is not at all where I thought he was going either.
All right.
You might as well have said, as long as you swallow, I mean,
The boundary has been set.
right.
Robert said you should give Lila and Heather a D Derby car. That would be good.
Well, Heather's riding with me this race.
Tegan, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
do
gonna be
voicemails because the site
Yeah.
won't let me log into them to play them. So we'll do this week's and next week's next Sunday. If you guys want to leave a voicemail, please do so. 360-347-6792. Be creative. Be funny, be intelligent, just don't be bored. Paul?
Be pithy.
Be pithy. Paul, party shots.
Yeah, mine's going to take about 10 minutes, so I want everybody to sit down.
Lilac said, it's okay. It's okay to top Tom. I'm a switch. So there you go. Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
Oh my God, that did not just happen. No, Lilat, no.
Anybody that says we don't support the LGBTQ+++++ community is completely wrong. We're all about this. Lila, congratulations, you and Tom. That's great.
I can't even right now.
Kevin, will you read off the number again for the call-in line?
The call-in line. Leave your voicemails. Leave your voicemails. In fact, leave your toast. If you have a toast,
Kevin, give the fucking number.
for Tom and Lila's relationship, please call in 360-347-6792. Leave it on the Outlaw voicemail. Paul, parting shots.
More importantly, I would like you to read that number one more time because, well, just in case you have any extra baby's mama out there.
Anybody can call it.
What a great way for them to get it off their chest.
Say what you need to say.
Call that line and be, Kevin, I have your child. Yeah.
Kevin, I have 3 of your children you didn't know about.
Well,
They're all
listen,
adults now.
I'm going for a baseball team. Okay. That number again, Paul's asked me to repeat it. 360-347-6792. All right. There you go.
All right. So I really don't have much in the, listen, folks, I'm going to end with this. We are coming into the most important time of year as Americans when it comes to our culture, our society. Voting is so important. I would even suggest it's a sacred right. If you have American privilege, which is different than white privilege, that doesn't exist. If you have American privilege and you're here and you're a voter, vote. I don't care who you vote for, but there's so much apathy in Washington State, especially.
Yep.
And I think apathy prevents a lot of you from voting. You can't let it. We've seen candidates win by 1 or 2 votes. It's a very real thing.
Randy
Boss lost by 1.
Randy Boss just lost another election by 1 vote. Randy, the curse of Outlaw Radio Network is still with you. Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
No, that was it. That was what I was saying.
It's important, Paul. You have a valid point. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
So I have moments.
All right. Two really quick things. One, the Mariners literally got demolished
again,
today, like 19-2. I haven't seen anybody struggle to score so much.
But last night was awesome.
Since Kevin on his last day.
I haven't seen somebody struggle to score so much since Paul when he was single. This Mariners team is.
I've never been
awful.
single. I move on. I've already got a couple in the on deck circle.
What the fuck?
Sorry, keep going.
So you look at the look on her face.
And Paul is finding a new place to live. It sounds
Please
like.
let me kick his ass for you.
So Amber, he's clearly got a line out the door. He's like Chick-fil-A. He's just got them lined up in the drive-thru.
Listen, just because I've got them lined up.
Yeah, don't be a dick, Paul.
Let
me repeat what your girl said.
I can't help it. It's in my genes. I'm saying that just because they're in the on deck circle doesn't mean the inning isn't going to end before they hit the batter's box. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, please just stop talking. What the fuck?
Your shovel is working too well, Paul.
The second thing, I'm going to do what's called a teaser. Okay. I'm not going to tell anybody what this is about. Paul knows, and I know, but that's all I'm going to say is that there's something glorious coming.
Don't say that.
Hold on, listen,
How
that
much is
once
this going to cost?
that not you guys nothing. There's something amazingly awesome coming, and that when it happens, not only will all of your jaws hit the ground, but a lot of other people's jaws will hit the ground too. I'm going to leave this incredibly vague, but when I come back and talk about, right, Paul, you know what I'm talking about. I told you about it this week.
Keep talking. Don't look at me.
I'm just saying, it's going to be amazing.
Is it, Paul? Is it going to be amazing?
Alicia, we can break Paul.
Here's
it's going to be. It's going to go.
Here's what I will say. Kevin is not wrong. It will be amazing on many different levels.
Yeah.
Some here will be amazed and for different reasons than the people that are online who will be amazed.
Yeah. Oh, no.
But most importantly, everyone will be amazed.
I don't like the sound of this at all. It doesn't sound amazing. You said amazed.
Okay. It will be glorious
like
to
glorious.
levels that this show hasn't seen in a long time.
Kevin,
Don't you remember what I told you this week?
No.
Yes.
Do you remember now?
Okay. Shit, yeah. Yes.
Kevin's getting married.
No. This is, he might end up dead, but I'm telling you, it's
he might end up dead.
It is mind blowing.
I don't think I'm going to be here for this.
Trust me, if he ends up dead, you're going to want to be here to scrape the pieces off the floor because it'll be
you won't be at what's happening, but you'll find out about it, and I'll get a high five from you. You watch.
Okay. I hope so.
I know what's happening.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't think you do.
I bet you I do.
Well, we'll find out if you know.
Yeah.
Paul's already broke.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Oh my gosh, some of us have to work in the morning.
We love you guys. We appreciate you. Please remember our sponsors, especially Destination Highway 420. If you're looking for a hookup for quality cannabis, great location on Hollis Street, wonderful staff and prices that are built around your budget. Stop off and see our friends at Destination Highway 420. Again, right across the street from Cloverleaf.
Right next door to Los Cabos.
Yeah, so go get some pizza at Cloverleaf or get some Mexican at Los Cabos.
Yeah.
Get your evening hit supply and knock yourselves out. It'll be great. And Destination Highway 420 is really a proud sponsor of Outlaw Radio, and we're proud to have them. Thanks to Black Ring Spiritual and this broadcast from here. Thanks to Evergreen Grace Cleaning Company. My balls have not been so clean in a long time.
What in the fuck is wrong? I'm
kidding.
so done.
I'm kidding. No, Evergreen Grace. Find them on Facebook. If you have a residential commercial clean that
We're going to make an appointment for him.
Yeah, Evergreen Grace.
He needs one. Have you been
He needs to go to a class.
Kitsap Great Escape, the best escape room in Kitsap County. 4 cool rooms to serve you. They just celebrated their 7th anniversary this weekend.
And none of them have happy endings.
No, that's a different kind
I'm
of
kind of blown away by that still.
Wait, you guys didn't know that?
No, I had no idea.
Kitsap?
Yeah.
Where do I go? I mean, do they?
Are you serious?
there's
There's one on the way to Costco.
Yeah, there's one down on Callow. Actually, there might be 2.
Is the one in Gorst? Because there's a massage place in Gorst in that same
There's a
complex.
massage place in
I knew that lady that rubbed my
Right next to
feet
the
felt
gas station
weird.
right there, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday when I stopped off at that gas station.
What's
to
her
get me
name?
a soda.
Kiki. Picks by Kiki.
Yeah. Okay.
Robert asked if you're going to clean the distillery as part of the show duties, and if you're going to wear an apron. That's what Robert wants to know. Other sponsors. Don't forget, Paul. Give your sponsor. Give your projects. I always get them
Pacific Northwest Funding. We do private loans for real estate investors up to 100% financing with closing costs. So yeah, it's and you can just PM me directly on Facebook if you want. And then I'll give out. I usually do most business by text.
Okay.
Because it can take too long to get on a phone call until it's time to get on a phone call. So.
Yeah, fair enough. So you can find him on Facebook. Just look for Paul, or you can go to onlyfans.com/Paul Madden.
I'm too far in debt.
And lastly, Admin a la carte. All that background stuff you need online to get your website going and moving in the direction that it needs to go. All that stuff needs to be handled by somebody who knows what they're actually doing. That's Andy at Admin a la carte. Find out more. Visit him at admin-a-la-carte.com. That's Outlaw, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. We are glad that you support the show. If you like the show, please be a friend, tell a friend. If not, we were never here and this never happened. We will see you guys next Sunday. Do we have guests for next Sunday yet?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Not for me.
I have to verify with Phil Cook exactly what day he's coming on, and maybe next Sunday.
Perfect. Also, the fair is coming, so go to the fair, support the fair. Just never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'll get sued.
Don't die at the fair.
Don't.
People die at the fair.
Make sure the people running the rides are sober before you get on. All right. Good night, everybody. This has been in the Outlaw Radio Network, a presentation of Outlaw Radio Network.com.
.com.
.com.